Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world. A group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
My return.
Hansel, so hot right now. Hansel.
I would like to take this offer. People! I'd like to announce my retirement from the male modeling profession.
It's that damn Hansel. He's so hot right now.
Look at that beautiful panel we've got in front of us right now. Wow.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning. What another wonderful Thursday morning. Here we are. This is Nerd Bacon, episode number 78. Can you believe it, folks? 78 times we've taken to the YouTubes and the interwebs so that we can come out here and entertain and educate. Probably the smartest chat in comic books, I think. That's what I think. That's my opinion. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. It's been a slow week for the news, and we have learned one thing for certain, that you do not have to have actors out promoting your work in your movies for them to still tank the whole thing.
Yeah, go figure.
They do a fine job sitting at home on their butts doing nothing. Don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we'll laugh about that just a little bit today. This morning, joining us, we've got Griffin.
Hello.
He doesn't have a last name, it's just Griffin.
Nope.
No. Just like Prince.
Like Prince or Madonna. Or
Madonna, yeah.
Yeah. Just Griffin. Griffin is from Moonfall Publishing, Moonfall Comics. And he's got a project that we'll be talking about a little bit today. But we'll get into that in just a second. Randy, how was your week, man?
Crazy, as usual. So it's been one fun thing after the next. So very little drawing being done, but lots of fires to put out. Let's put it that way.
Oh, man. Did you know you were going to be a firefighter?
Well, I wish, that's a little bit calmer than what's, happening right now. We had big torrential rains up here in Michigan, and it flooded one particular part of the roadway, and the wife went driving right into the puddle, and it was like she hit a brick wall.
Oh my gosh.
And she tore out a splash guard underneath the piece of molded plastic underneath our wonderful Chevy Trax.
Goodness golly.
Damn.
That's terrible.
Wow. The dealership was more than happy to replace and put on for free as long as I paid for the part.
Of course they are, yeah.
Because it's just, they take it off anyway, they said, in order to change the oil.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's great. How much is the part? $512.
Since I'm down there, I'll take care of you.
Sounds
So this 30-cent piece of plastic I'm gonna charge.
Yeah, really.
$570.
Piece of molded plastic with some
I
ribbons
mean,
in it.
we brought it from Taiwan.
It only cost
take
about
that
$2 to make.
I don't know where they're getting it from. They still haven't gotten the part in. I'm waiting for their call now.
I used to be a parts guy. Did you know that, Randy?
Oh,
Parts guy?
Yeah, I was the youngest manager in the district here in Indiana for Advanced Auto Parts.
Cool.
I was the guy that went around to different stores and fixed them if they were failing. I would go fix them, make them profitable. So I know parts. I know parts really well. In fact, I was ASE certified with parts. See, this is stuff people don't know about me. That I was a car guy. I was a corporate business guy. People don't know that. All they know is this silly goofball that talks about comics all the time, right? And draws pictures. That's it.
You had to get on store managers when their blinker fluid quota was too low.
Yeah, man. We did all that. So I was good at my job, and I can tell you right now that the margin markup on those molded plastic pieces are insane.
Well, I knew when he
700%
for free.
In some cases like 7,000%, man.
Yeah.
oh damn.
It's just how cheap plastic is. It's
on the
not
the
close.
positive side, I took it in there on a Saturday, and he was able to look at it, order the part, take the old part off, and tell me just don't run over any more puddles until we get put back on.
Great advice, man.
Because it's a guard that keeps the starter and all of the electronics in the car dry.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you had a
Marvy.
Expensive week.
Oh, it's been one thing after the next. It's been
Marvelous.
nothing. Not just one bad thing happens. It always usually in threes.
Yeah, it's clusters, right?
Yeah.
Well, I hate to hear that because I know Whiskey's not having a great week either.
Whiskey's not having a good
No,
week.
No. You see that whole fire thing you got put in a fires? Mine has turned into a torrential upward updraft that's lit the atmosphere on fire and is now spreading across multiple provinces and states, and we're all screwed.
Basically, he's created his personal version of what Canada has already done with the fires, and now it's affecting the states. So, guys, we do apologize. The smoke from Whiskey's fire may affect you today.
It's not Whiskey's fault. I don't
not
blame
Whiskey's
Whiskey.
fault.
It's his
I tease. No, hopefully,
Their lackluster response.
hopefully today will
initially.
be.
Anyway,
Hopefully today will be a highlight in your guys' week. So, Pedro, how about you? What you been up to?
I mean, I hate to destroy the bubbly mood, but my week has been amazing. Yeah, I just launched the mailing list for Waifus and Kaijus. I've been rolling, working for clients.
I was going to say,
done.
Martha Stewart's in town.
Yeah, I don't have a woman, so she didn't wreck the car. I'm doing great.
That's not her fault. She didn't.
Yeah,
I was riding with her.
I know, I tease.
I know.
You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
know.
We all tease.
Yeah.
Nice. Griffin,
Yeah,
how are you doing, man? You doing all right?
pretty okay. Week's been pretty slow, just a lot of work.
Yeah, so you've got a campaign running right now.
A lot
I
of
do.
fog where you are.
Yeah,
There's
something weird going on with the camera.
some strange in the neighborhood. So you've got this campaign that you've launched, a couple weeks now, right?
I think it's been a little over a week now, yeah.
So yes, you've had a busy week trying to promote and sell your book, sell the book. Now, this is just one single book, right?
Yeah, it's a 92-page anthology.
92 pages.
Oh, it's intense.
I got 10 pages in there.
You do?
Yeah, I did 10 pages in there.
Pretty good art.
Guys,
That's also your cover on the screen right now, too.
Yeah, that's my cover. I did that little wraparound. I've done now 2 wraparounds. I can't tell you how many reach rounds I've done.
That's TMI anyway.
I'm sorry.
That's calling every to the road, man.
That was a bad joke.
Man, everyone's gay once in a while.
It wasn't family friendly.
So much for the family friendly.
Yeah, so much for the safe for work.
Hey,
sorry, guys. That's my fault.
There's all kinds of families, man. We have to be inclusive.
All kinds of families.
Right.
We're very inclusive here.
Yeah.
So, so you're working on that. We'll get into the campaign a little bit more later and really what you're selling here. But just want to kind of show this off. You are 22 years old.
Yes.
And you are starting you're the head of the publishing company, right?
I am, yeah.
What could have possibly made you want to do this?
Yeah, what happened?
Growing up, I've always been into comics. My dad had an old collection growing up, so growing up I was reading all of the ROM issues, and that's what really got me into comics. And then just going away for college, I met a group of people online who we just clicked and decided to do this.
Yeah, just make some comic books.
Yeah.
I actually met you through a mutual.
Yeah.
Someone that had done some work for me, had done some scripting for some of my outlines that I had. Yeah. And they introduced us. And we started out doing logos.
Yeah. I think that was the first thing you did for us, yeah.
Yeah, and we did logos and some character designs. And you didn't start out with Moonfall.
No, we originally started with the name Nightfall Comics before we hit a snag at the trademark office because someone in the Philippines had that trademark. But funny enough, I actually now have the trademark for Nightfall Comics again.
Oh, after all that work to change
after all that work.
Let me know if we need to retrofit everything. I'm happy.
The Philippines win again.
And the Philippines and the friggin' Philippines.
Yeah.
So so this is pretty cool. We'll talk about this more here in a little bit. So we're just gonna try to get to know you a little bit today. And I've had a pleasure of working with you, but we haven't really chatted too much about all this stuff.
About work.
Yeah, just work. I try to keep it professional, and and not be like be weird. Here is where I get weird. This is where the fun happens.
Sounds great.
So that's what we like to do. So you've been a comic book fan for how long now?
I've been a fan since as long as I can remember. I can't remember a time when superheroes and comics weren't a part of my life.
That's awesome. Now, are you a writer, artist? What's your primary creative outlet?
Editor, probably editor or creator. I have created 3 of the characters in this upcoming anthology, but I'm the one who did all the editing, put it all together.
So you're trying to be like a Jim Shooter, Stan Lee kind of person, huh?
Yeah, I'm not as great at the writing aspect. I leave that to people who are a bit smarter than I am.
You know what? Here's what I found. If you have a big idea and you're not super confident or qualified to achieve the end result, you find people that are, and you put them on your team, right? Like, I would be so good at managing a football team. I'd be like, no, that guy's slow. We need a faster dude. What would get me is the budget caps. That would be, it's not my money. I don't care, right? Let's go welcome the chat. So, Griffin, it's going to be fun to hang out with you today. Hopefully everybody will get to know you, chat. Feel free to ask your questions of Griffin. We can rake him over the coals. We can poke him with the screws and really turn him in there. We're going to give him a hard time today. Already
get started.
You better get ready, Griffin, when we get to your campaign.
Okay.
There was one aspect that I did not know about, the whole overarching thing, that when I saw the trailer for the campaign, I was like, WTF? What? And so I've got a big question.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a hard time about it.
Okay.
Because as the editor, you have to have an answer for me.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
I hope I do.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people watching today that's normally, I'm a first half and then I go do other things and then because we have the first half crowd, then the second half crowd, and then the rewatch crowd. You may need to join the rewatch crowd for the second half of this because I'm gonna give Griffin. It's all in fun, okay? Don't get too upset. And crowd, it's just kayfabe, huh? Chill out. So yeah, welcome. We've got already early on 3:57 a.m. Schism was in the house. Hailing all. Hail all. Welcome, Schism. It's great to have you here. We got Ronan's reviews.
Couldn't wait for the bacon.
He is up there. He is hungry, and so hopefully we'll give you plenty. Hopefully we'll fry it plenty of food.
Okay.
What?
No, we lost Griffin for a while.
He took flight.
The line was terrible.
Yeah, he took flight.
We got John Celeste in the house.
Yeah, we got Ronan's reviews is in the house. Welcome. Good to have you here. Glenn Fleming is here. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mad Ruth is in the house. Welcome, Mad Ruth.
Hey.
It's good to have you here. Genuine Comics. Dave Brink. Hello, everyone.
What's up, Dave?
Soltac 4. We'll be approving that campaign today, folks. You'll be able to see it. John Epple is in the house. Hey, everyone. Good to have you here. Aaron C. from Immortal Rising Comics is in the house. Welcome. Good to have you here today. Hojo is here with us as well. Baconeers is simple. Grey Wolf Graphics in the house. Hail chat. Great to have you here. Dr. Mask, Retro Elixir. Hail nerds. It's good to have you here this morning. Hail. We got Hicks Villain in the house. That is one of the best names I have ever heard. Hicks Villain. I love that. Yeah. Welcome, Hicks Villain, today to the chat. It's great to have you. Settle in, get comfortable, and enjoy yourself. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a real good day. Dr. Mass says we are talking about the price of new cars, and we can get yourself a new classic car for the price of some new of these new heaps. That is true. That is true. Mad Ruth says Out of Obscurity is now 90% funded, $121 away. Thank you. Awesome. We are going to be talking about that a little bit today as well. That is awesome. Another Arrow book. And Arrow, we're taking over the world, but Moonfall Comics is coming quickly behind us, I think.
Oh.
John Epsel, I have worked at a dealership myself. These are such a scam. Yes, they are. My sister is in the house today. Welcome, Kelly. Thank you for joining us from Facebook this morning. It's great to have you here. Let me see, Hojo. Yes. Back out of obscurity, folks. Do it. Today is a good day to have a good day. It is.
Yes.
I thought you bought Alaska to keep the commies across the ocean.
And for all the crab.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Tree Column is in the house. Welcome. It's good to have you here this morning as well. Inclusive means we make fun of everyone equally.
Yes.
See, John gets the spirit of the show. That's who we are. Yes. Anyone that doesn't get that, they think we're mean-spirited. Well, they're probably just idiots.
Maybe a little bit mean-spirited.
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
How much fun it is. How much fun it is. Congrats, little Griffin. You're doing what I was scared to do at your age.
Too scared.
It took me 20 years to take my shot. Man, I really wish.
Taking the shot. Good job for that, though.
I really wish that I had Lin-Manuel Miranda. Not gonna miss my shot.
I have a question.
It's my best Lin.
In 20 years, Griffin, are you finally going to grow that beard in? Or?
I tried a little bit during quarantine. It doesn't get much longer than just a bit of stubble, and it just doesn't look good.
I mean, you'll get there. There's some tropical.
I mean, once puberty hits, you'll be fine.
Everything takes time.
There's some tropical foods that can help you. Like I can send you like a box.
Okay.
Of guarumo and coquillo and.
I mean, we got a rash. You're 22 years old. You're doing what it's taken Hojo 20 years to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Hojo's
Your
been
house is gonna be
sleeping.
smelly, but you'll grow that like luscious lumberjack beard.
Yeah,
You know,
you will.
when I do, I'll let you guys know.
Man, when you're my age, you're gonna be like this, like soured old comic veteran. Let me tell you, in my day, kids,
Salty.
yeah, you'd be salty. And then when you're
Salty.
when you're Randy's age,
Just get off my lawn.
dear God, you're gonna get off my lawn. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
I
be
hope
great.
I'm in this industry that long.
I mean, but
I do
Randy,
too.
All in all, I
Let's
think
hope
Randy
so.
is a very positive person.
Yeah, no, that's the key. I hope you're in this industry that
After
long.
everything.
There
a
are
lot of
so
fun.
many people that try to
Enjoyed
get
it.
into this thing and they drop out quick.
My wife insists that I'm as grumpy as ever.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Welcome, John Celestri. Good morning, y'all. I'm
What's up,
watching
John?
and on my morning walk. Enjoy that
Look at
walk.
that.
We're going to even maybe take a look at some Bloodwing Fire Fist Angel this morning. John's campaign is now live on Fun My Comic. He is the not safe for work variety, which is funny because John is a big part of my childhood.
yeah.
And not in like a weird, like, like creepy uncle way. Like he was the animator of some of the properties that really got me into comics. Like He-Man. Like He-Man was like a big deal for me. I loved He-Man. And that was my gateway into comic books. And then Ninja Turtles later on, he wasn't a part of that. But that really like reignited and sparked that. But yeah, it all started
But
with
you know,
He-Man.
I have a comment on that though. I mean, as an animator and being so restricted by budget, that idea of making animation just for kids is really restricted to what you can do with animation, and you can do so
really
much
is.
more. And Europe and Japan has shown that you can do whatever you want with animation. It's just you don't get like investors to believe in projects that are not just for kids.
Yeah.
But
Now
that's why I'm doing comics.
Yep.
So.
And that's why John's doing comics. John can now write about what he wants to, talk about what he wants to. And so it's cool to see him out there doing his thing, and hopefully he can find that audience to support him on until he decides to finally retire from storytelling. And but what I mean by that is I don't think storytellers ever retire, do they?
No.
We can't
They die
stop,
with a
can we?
pencil in their hands.
Die with the pencil in their hands.
Dying at the
Sometimes
board,
it's
folks.
stylish, yeah.
A lot of folks have already done it.
Yeah, they have. Glenn
following the
Fleming
lead.
says, I'm with the in crowd. Yeah, you are, my friend. You are hip as can be.
For several decades, Glenn.
It's because you're here.
You've
Yes.
been in the in crowd.
Yep. Immortal Rising comic book says, I'd like to consult with someone about merch and tiers for my next campaign. I believe I could get more backers if I had more to offer. Feel free to DM me. I can give you some pointers on that.
Get some good tips for it.
This industry is full of tears.
Yeah, you're making a video on marketing, right?
I am.
Hey, Russ.
I'm actually recording several videos on marketing, and thank you. Pedro's been helping with the editing to get that done.
Yeah. But that's all coming, guys.
Yeah, so it's all coming, and we're going to build up that channel. I've already started writing the first chapter of the book, which we're going to be in our topic today. It's about plots versus story and how they work together and how they don't. And we're going to discuss that and about some of the best plots and some of the best story elements that we've found. As we get into these things, we're going to have this kind of discussion today. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. And we may even point out some plot twists and story turns in the real world, in the news today. So you might see a few of those things as we discuss. And you'll see that.
I've seen some tinfoil news, but I don't know if this is the show to discuss that. Yeah.
Tinfoil news.
Oh, we'll go over. Yeah, we can discuss some of that because comic book news is kind of weird this week.
Yeah.
We've got Russ Leach's comic book black belt in the house. Man, I'll tell you, when you look through the talent we've got in here, you've got Russ, you've got Glenn, you've got Aaron, you got Hojo, you've got Mad Ruth, you got, I can't, all of you guys, there's so much talent in here.
I have a compartment called enervating talent. Like people who are so talented that they piss you off. Russ,
There you go.
Yeah.
There's several
you know what a
people there.
pessimist is? It's an optimist with experience.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
blackout Fleming, shut up.
Yeah. I could grow a beard in a single day. but the rest of my head is challenged.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
It's the top part that we worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like boldliness, manliness?
It's solar panel for a sex machine.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you
People
recharge.
like Griffin make me hopeful for the future.
Indeed.
Says
Thank you.
Dr. Masks, Retro Elixir. They do. I'm very happy to be one part of your story that you're telling about yourself. Let me see. Where else were we? I kind of skipped around a little bit and got a little crazy. You missed 100% of the shots.
It's great to bump into people that are just beginning and you see that sting that happens, that first book that gets into the blood and you go, I'm doing this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I feel like
that settle in and learn.
Some people get stung and die. But
that too.
I feel like Billy Madison.
They crawl away crying. Comics broke me.
Right. I feel like Billy Madison when he goes to high school and he goes back to visit his third grade friends, right, or fourth grade, or whatever. And he's like, I can't wait till I'm in high school. Stay as long as you can. Never leave. It's that.
That was never my impression. Yeah.
It's that being kind of here at this level. You know what I'm noticing, guys? This is happening in real time. My voice is stronger than it normally is, and I'm noticing that I'm clipping out my soundboard over here, which means I've got
gain is high.
I've got to turn the gain on my mic down again. This is the third time I've had to turn the gain down on my mic.
Does that mean it's coming back?
That means my voice might be coming back, guys. It's still got this nice, rough, smooth sound.
Raspy,
smooth jazz, baby.
Yeah, kind of like Kenny Pendergrass. You got what I need.
I gotta love you, baby. Yeah,
exactly.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's what she said. Yes.
Spoken like a true guy who enjoys time with himself.
Taking
all the shots.
What I believe is if you shoot for the moon and fail, you still land amongst the stars.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about that today because... Never mind. That's a spoiler. Spoiler, Griffins. Griffin, spoiler. Anyway, where we at? I blame my follicle challenge on all of the girls when they patted me on my head and said, "Well done, Glenn."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from that position, that's all they could do.
We've got Widgeman here today. Welcome. He says, "Good morning. First time on your live stream. Found your channel through Rumble. Love the show. Thanks, man. We are broadcasting to Rumble. It's great to have you here. We're going to have a good time. Welcome to the Bacon Nation. It is great to have you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and let your friends know about that. Let's give everybody kind of the update on the new, like what we do here, because Griffin's kind of new here too. So if we make any money, so if someone becomes a channel member, if we get a super chat, if someone backs a campaign while watching the show, we call that flipping the bird. So you can flip Griffin the bird today. You can flip any one of the panelists the bird. You can flip me the bird, or you can flip the bird on behalf of one of the other creators on Fund My Comic or out there in the world that we're promoting. You can flip them the bird, and what that is, we play this clip. So this is the money clip. Whenever money is brought in, you are flipping the bird. Make that bird dance, okay?
That's the sound of my people.
Yep. So that's what we do, all right? So as we're pulling up campaigns and we're looking at stuff today, if you do that, if you super chat, if you become channel members, things like that, we flip the bird. We make the bird dance. So you have to know that. We do throw up some weird clips every once in a while. So you'll notice things, like...
Not to worry. I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want.
It just says I can do what I want. And speaking of which, we thank you for that $2 super chat. We do appreciate that very much, Ronan. Very, very generous of you, which means
You never get tired of that bird.
I never get tired of that bird, man. I love that bird. I wish I had moves like that.
Do you guys know who Celia Cruz is?
No, I don't.
Dude, it's a very famous salsa singer from Cuba, and her signature scream is "Azúcar." So I don't know. Whenever I hear the flip of the bed, I just need that azúcar thing, and I need to get you a video so you understand who she is. But yeah.
John Apple says, I'm only getting started, but comics aren't for the faint of heart. Jack Kirby said it best when he said, comics break your heart, kid.
Good, yeah.
They will. They certainly will break your heart. John says, the only censor for my comics is my personal taste. Ronan says, love my Thursdays all because of you guys.
Oh,
I feel good.
Thank you, man.
We're so happy to be here. We're so happy to be a part of your Thursdays and help you enjoy your Thursdays a little bit more. Let's get into some news, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's get into some news this morning. I do want to tell you something. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Boomer. Here I go. Where's my clip? Holy cow.
Luke, are you...
List is getting longer and longer.
Before we start, Luke, I had a question. Are you a boomer or Gen X?
I'm a Gen X, man.
Exactly. Like, the thing's like, I think we're calling everybody boomer, and Gen X is being, like, dumped into a dungeon or something.
Well, I'm actually a zillennial. I'm what we call it. I was born in 1980, which is the last year for Gen X, apparently.
Yeah.
It used to be 81, but they moved it. So my wife got moved from Gen X to millennial. So now I'm technically married to a millennial, but I am what they call a zillennial. So I understand the personality and life of the Gen Xer, but I also understand growing up with technology because I was right at the beginning of that. So video games were big when I was, up through my 10, and then all the way from like 90 to 2000, we watched the internet age grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Birth.
We were here.
And we were there for it. And we adapted to it really, really quick. So the early days of HTML and CSS, I mean, I was right there. We were building, GeoCity sites all the time and things like that. We were the tech generation. Hojo born in 1981.
Dude, I'm solid.
We got
74.
a millennial in the house.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I was born in 1974, so I'm solid Gen X.
Yeah.
So what happened with you guys with internet happens to us with personal computers.
Yep.
So it was all like, okay, do you know DOS and Fortran and COBOL and all those like programming languages that don't exist anymore?
Yeah, Gen X for the win.
Yeah,
I'm Gen X too.
Go, Russ.
Look, I know the demographic of this show, and it is Gen X men. Like, it is. So the demographic, overwhelmingly, the people that watch this show are males from age 35 to 54.
Yeah.
Like that's our demographic here. Yeah. When I go and I look at the demographics for Nerd Bacon, I'm like, holy cow, that is heavily weighted. But you know what? We know who our audience is, and we'll give you what you want, my friends.
We grew up wanting to be Marty McFly and ended up being Snake Plissken.
But dude, like Hojo has the solution for this. He identifies as Gen X, and you know what?
There we go.
I respect your truth, Hojo.
I respect your truth too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hope for Gen Z.
Yeah.
I do. Griffin's Gen Z. My daughter's Gen Z.
Yeah.
My son is technically Gen Z. I have a lot of hope for you guys.
This is what I identify as.
Okay.
Ham sandwich? What?
That looks like cornbread. Oh,
that's
a piece cake.
That's special.
Raw hamburger between two Pop-Tarts. Okay.
Yikes.
Wow, you're making me be
yikes.
living in nut houses now. Jesus.
I got a little sick to my stomach right there.
Yeah. Oh. That's like redneck tartar. What are you trying to do?
That's just inviting all sorts of health problems.
Yeah, dude.
Wilgman says I started programming in BASIC on my Tandy
There you go.
TSR 80 Coco.
There you go.
You just dated
dude.
yourself. Oh
There you
my
are.
Dude,
gosh.
that's my first $1,000 I made in school.
Nothing
That
like
was
the
only
magic of
one
Radio
to
Shack.
program in BASIC.
Grey Wolf says I'll be 64 next month. None
There
of
you
this
go.
stuff exists when I was born. No, it didn't. I
There we are.
love your generation. I really do. I love helping you guys navigate my site.
Yeah, that's
Because I get a lot of they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best to do this.
okay.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's get you there.
No, that can be described by a sound, though. What am I doing? You know, and that's cool too. You see?
I'm just smiling because I didn't have any problem navigating.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Well, I mean, think pink and green. If you go on there, like,
Yeah.
there's nobody there to help you walk you through this stuff. No one's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Pink
we're the
or
only
green
ones
or
doing that
brown.
for you guys.
Yeah.
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 Pink, green, they're all brown to me.
That's why we're the gold standard over here on the gold site.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo, baby.
There we go.
Bingo, bango,
Bling,
bongo.
bling.
That's unsanitary whiskey. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Wilgen says that's yummy.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
My dad
it's not
bought
like you
one of
don't-
the
you guys
first
don't have
TVs in my
fire.
neighborhood in 1950. I'm a
There we are.
YouTuber. So you're one of those rich kids, huh?
You
Yeah.
are,
that's it.
yeah. Wow. We have
You think you're better
down.
than me? You think you're better than me? All right. So let's get started in on some of these articles. So last week we talked about the arrest or the break-ins, these shops that were getting we got some stealing going on, right?
Okay.
Well, good news. The Boulder Police Department has arrested a suspect in the July 28th burglary of the Time Warp comics. James Ware of Nederland, Colorado, was charged with 5 counts, some of which were not related to the robbery. 1 count of second-degree burglary. Pardon me.
1 count of theft, a criminal mischief charge, and 2 criminal violations of a protection order. Obviously, he had paper to stay away from that shop.
He had some papers, yeah.
Boulder detectives informed Time Warp owner Wayne Winslet of the arrest on August 11th.
Yep.
Westworld reports that the first break-in, the first break in the case occurred when Martin Davidson, owner of Kapow Comics and Coffee in Colorado Springs, read a news report about the robbery and realized that he had just bought some of the stolen items the previous Wednesday. Quote, I've known Wayne for almost 30 years, and I immediately texted him to let him know I'd bought some of his books, and since I'd written the guy a check for them, I knew his name, too, Davidson told Westword. That's pretty easy to figure out who the kid was. We just looked him up on Facebook, and boom, there he was.
Oh, thank God for stupid criminals.
Yeah.
Not only that, Ware had mentioned to Davidson that the Iron Lion was the only other store buying comics in Colorado Springs. When Winslet reached out to Iron Lion, they told him they had bought 7 of the stolen comics from a customer who used the alias Christopher Hitchens. They're now cooperating with the investigation.
Nice. Man, I love it.
Winslet also credited customer Rita Rollman, who alerted every comic book store in Colorado to the theft and also sent the news out to the media. What she did on behalf of the store was incredible and definitely key to where we are now in this process, Winslet said.
Colorado's not going to be soft on crime like California. It's not going to be catch and release. So this guy's actually going to get, punishment of some kind.
I don't know, man. Like I saw a post on Twitter of a guy trying to steal a guitar from a guitar center, and he got MMA the hell out of that store. I think that's the way things should go. Like the rear naked choke until he passed out, then right by the pants, and out he goes. Didn't steal the guitar.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need to explain pink and green. Someone, William doesn't understand pink and green.
Yeah.
So pink and green are, pink is the IGG site, Indiegogo, and green is Kickstarter. Blue is Crowdfunder. Brown is Zoop because it sounds like poop.
Rhymes with poop.
If it rhymes with poop,
don't think
We
I've
call it
even
brown.
heard of Zoop.
Poop, poop. That's okay. Nobody else has either.
Nobody
Yeah,
has.
it's not
Yeah.
like, you know.
You don't need to.
And then we're obviously gold.
Anyway,
We're gold. We're the
gold
site.
standard.
Yep.
Yeah. Bling bling.
Yep. So when we say pink and green, that's what we're talking about because we don't want to really give them their names. You know, they're like Voldemort around here. You know,
we call them the gatekeeper sites. Everybody would ask which ones.
yeah, which ones?
Yeah.
all of them. The other ones. So we talk about censorship around
there
here a
you go.
lot. So Okinawa.
To release the manga.
I like saying Okinawa.
Is there some Okinawa?
Yeah.
It was good in green tea. Yeah.
Delayed a month because the China-based printer wanted to delete all references to Taiwan. In an interview with the creator that was included in the book, mentioned Taiwan. The printer also wanted to remove references to China's actions during World War II. In an email from Manga Splaining,
oh my god,
which is co-publishing the book with Fantagraphic Books. See, Manga Splaining podcast launches manga licensing program. Yeah. Christopher Woodrow Butcher explained that the publishing team had opted to go with another printer rather than delete the material.
Way to go, sir.
Way to go.
This delayed the planned release of the book from July to August, meaning it was not available at San Diego Comic-Con. The book will be released on August 22nd. It's not the first time a Chinese printer has objected to content in a non-Chinese book. The Financial Times reported on 2 different cases in which British publishers were removed materials from books so they could be printed in China, where costs are lower.
And
Look,
this is what
lower cost.
China.
Lower cost. Do not necessitate. There's no way. I will.
You get what you pay for, plus shipping, plus. Now you should know with the supply line problems of the last 3 to 4 years, you can't trust shipping.
Yeah,
dude. And the thing is, like, you're working with the CCP right away because
that's exactly right.
There. So yeah. I know not having any freedom and how that feels like. So yeah, guys, you're making your life harder for no reason.
And I just have to say that, quite frankly, Fantagraphics should know better.
Yeah,
they should know better.
They should
know better.
Know better.
You know what we got to do? Someone just backed Little Mermaid. TVs, Grey Wolf Graphics, one of our channel members here, says Al Capone bought 2 TVs for my wife's grandfather in the mid-40s. He was Capone's barber in Miami. That is so cool. What a fun story.
One went to his barber shop, the other went to his house. Must have liked his haircuts. Yeah.
A lot.
You're good to me, I'm good to you.
You're welcome on that. Yep, your site is the Gold Master. Yes. Welcome. Oh, and we need to welcome in Darkside Comics. Hey, I got your message this morning, and I tried to, but obviously we're doing all this, so I really can't get into that. I do need to look into that because everything is set up right, so that we've got a campaign, and I tried to back it this morning because I want a copy of it, and everything's set up, but the account is based in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So it's for some reason none of the transactions. Stripe is like, and no, don't think so.
No.
So I don't know what's going on there. I've got to get to the bottom of that today.
No, Mexico.
Welcome, CJ. Writer C.S. Johnson is in the house.
These
Welcome.
little glitches as we go along. Yeah.
We'll bring up CJ's work today. Talk about that. CJ and I, we try to do a show with RJ William on Sunday nights. I am hardly ever able to make it. I am a terrible co-host for that, mostly because I forget that Sundays.
For that, I guess.
Man shame the crap out of me for that.
Sorry, my cat appeared in my office out of nowhere. So
cats do that.
That's all right. Cats do that.
She wanted to join into, I guess.
Yeah. So today we will have, we get to have a more probably refined perspective on a couple of things. CJ is a very talented writer, and she knows the difference between plot and story, which we'll talk about a little bit today. But speaking of plot, in a plot twist, we are seeing now that, let me see. I want to get back over here. That ICV2 is now promoting crowdfunding campaigns. So here's one from Zoop. But, I mean, this is a serious plot twist. And then here's one. This campaign I was going to bring up a little bit today, only because I think it's funny. So on Kickstarter, if they have a retailer tier, they put it on the website. They probably won't put anything from Fund My Comic up there because we're too much about freedom, and that just we're censorship free, which you would think they would want to promote that. But so this guy named Ryan Benjamin, he is a Marvel artist, and so what he's doing, he's making this book, the Comic Pro Boot Camp. Yeah. So basically, it's a workbook on how you make a comic book, right? Which, I mean, is all information you can find on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fairly easily, right? Yeah. But so this is a case of, I think, because of all the companies he works for, if you look here, he's worked for Marvel, DC, Image, and then he does his own webtoon. And then, so this is a case of the miner starting to sell shovels. Yeah. I think.
I think I'm good. I understand the effort, but
you realize
this is like a guy trying to tell me how to pick up chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you realize none of these people though ever talk about the business of making comics.
Well, that's not their primary worry.
Well, it's because they don't know.
It's all about
that's guys. True, but all the business they know is the instructions they get from their editor.
Right, right. Which is why my book is going to have the business of making comics, like contracts, how to set up your LLC, how to do your accounting, some marketing tips, how to establish branding, those kind of things. So I'm going to include how to make the book, right? But I'm going to include how to find vendors, how to figure out fixed versus variable cost on things. Yeah, so all that kind of stuff.
That's
basically how to run a damn business.
Way more valuable than just hey, look.
And it's more valuable because it's boring. That's the boring side of the thing. Nobody wants to. I just want to create.
It's not sexy. It's not sexy. But you got to know it. You've got to know it. Yeah. Welcome, Dan Plagle's in the house. Welcome, Boob Dan. Dan, I hope you're feeling better. Better. I know you've had some health issues, and we've been praying for you, man. We really hope We hope you're doing a lot better. William is trying to start his own business. I need to figure out how to make an LLC. Message me. I'll help you with it. It's not as hard as what you think.
Yeah.
But so in a plot twist, ICV2 now is promoting crowdfunded books now, which tells me that the market is now moving away from standard publishing and standard distribution. You should take note, folks, that when a site like ICV Squared, when they start promoting crowdfunded books and projects, the tides are turning. Right? That is a twist.
Maybe they just want to be read.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, Griffin is here for it. I'm already.
And they need news to fill space and keep people coming to their site, and all of the big news are coming out of the crowdfunders anymore.
Here's some good news though. Looks like Dark Horse is doing all right.
As Modi sales up in quarter, but margins down, expenses up.
Right, we sold more, but we're making less.
Embracer Group tabletop games segment as Modi reported 20%. Top line growth, but declining margins and rising expenses in the company's fiscal first quarter. Asmodee sales increased to 292.9 million. Converted from Swedish krona to today's exchange rate, from 245.2 million in the year ago quarter. Organic growth, i.e., not due to acquisition, was 9%, the company reported.
That's not bad.
So the other 11% came from acquisitions.
Yeah. That's not bad.
From companies that were probably growing by 30%. But anyway.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know. But the bottom line dropped with the adjusted EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, down over 50% from 41.5 million in the year ago quarter to 19 million this year. A gross margin decline that attributed to a product mix that was more ICG heavy. TCG heavy. What's TCG?
Table card games.
Table card games. So they had to print them, in other words.
Or Titty Call Girl.
That could be too. The higher expenses to inflate and increased staff. And higher expenses to inflation and increased staff. That's what she said.
They got to figure. That's what she.
Entertainment and services, the segment that includes Dark Horse, grew 70% primarily driven by Middle-earth Enterprises with Magic the Gathering and Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, called out as important contributors to licensing revenue. Dark Horse's results were not mentioned separately in the company's announcements.
So it's all put in there. So we don't know if what Dark Horse contributed to making money or not.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Mm. It's all fudge, yeah.
For the record,
nothing to say.
Damn you, Bill Gates, and your direct energy weapons. You restarted my computer.
Yeah, it's one of these things where, they are just muddying the water here. Like tell us what the
Well,
really what it is.
When you do your quarterly reports like this, it's important to look as good as possible.
Well, they're all liars. You know how I feel about liars.
That's how your stocks go. Yeah.
But there's only one thing I hate more than lying. Skim milk, which is water that's lying about being milk.
Yeah, but this is beyond liars. So like, how much is 2 + 2? Blue. Like, dude, we're not asking that. Like, how comics are you selling? Now, like, hey, look how great these guys from abroad are.
It stands for trading card games. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Trading card games. Sorry.
You'll get us there eventually.
Yeah.
Like Magic. Yeah.
Like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Bracer Group sales were up 47%, 20% organic growth to 961.4 million from 654.9 million a year ago, with solid margins.
Look at that.
The company announced layoffs and other restructuring in June.
That's solid growth.
That's
so
solid growth, baby.
So
The company announced layoffs and other solid restructuring in June. After reporting disappointing earnings in May, the company also revealed that a $2 billion deal had collapsed on the eve of the report. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Embracer did not reveal the exact nature of the deal or who it was with. Liberty Distribution. But Axios is now reporting that the collapsed deal was with Savvy Gaming Group.
That sounds like pirates.
An arm of Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, public investment fund.
Was it a wealthy prince that needed to send money to the?
Probably the same guy who was talking about buying Lucasfilm.
Yeah, probably.
Which invests funds on behalf of the government of Saudi Arabia.
Better Saudi Arabian prince than a Nigerian one, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Right. I mean, those work.
I thought he died in his apartment anyway. The Nigerian dude. He couldn't get anybody to take his money.
Yeah.
He just died right there, yeah.
The money from Savvy would have been devoted to game development, according to the report. Embracer raised over $1 billion last year in a stock offering that gave Savvy 8.1% of the shares in the company. But if the report is correct, additional financing will not be forthcoming.
Oh no.
I got a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Speaking of layoffs,
boom.
Disney lays off 150 plus crew members from the upcoming Tron Ares movie amid ongoing SAG-AFTRA and WGA.
They laid them off because their writers are on strike.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing of value was lost.
Yeah,
nothing of value was lost.
This strike is like a wildfire, man. Like everybody's getting fired, and these guys are gonna realize that they're famous because they're attached to IPs.
Yeah.
If they try to do what we're doing with their magnetic personalities, that's gonna be really funny.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the show, I mean, look at what's happening with Snow White. People are sick of this Rachel character.
Yeah,
she is such an insufferable narcissist.
Because she won't be quiet.
I mean, and she's Latino. We want her. We want to shun her.
She's not even allowed. Like right now, they're on strike. Could you imagine how bad it would be if she was out in front of the camera right now?
Yeah, exactly.
This is all based on crap she said before the strike.
Yeah.
And then, and look what's happening with Blue Beetle. That director, the director's out there promoting it, and he can't freaking shut up about his. This guy's got he's butthurt about some political socio thing, and that's what's. Please explain that for me.
Okay, so basically, he's a Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
And Puerto Rico has a very touchy story with America.
Yeah, they do.
Whether it's current or not, like, dude, the things like these guys have turned suffering into a skill, and that helps no one.
Suffering
in the end, I mean, it's true. They turned something that was a Spanish colony with people living well into a sugarcane production island. Like what happened to Haiti. Haiti is the way it is because it was the sugar production mono agricultural provider of sugar for France. They did the same with Puerto Rico. So now Puerto Rico is like lagging on that regard, and there's been a lot of injustice. Like they gave cancer to protesters. Like the first surveillance of a whole population was done in Puerto Rico. But dude, we're talking 30s, 40s, 50s. That was almost a century ago. Know your history, but keep on working. Don't try to be like, oh, look at me. I'm this.
I understand wanting to have a voice and advocate for those things to bring awareness. The problem is when you take your shot by using Warner Brothers and DC Comics to do that, and injecting your voice into the story rather than letting the story. Because right now these studios are suffering. I mean, they're hemorrhaging cash. Disney's being sued by TG something or whatever. Basically there's this financier company, right, that loans money to the studios to make their movies, and then they're getting paid extra. They get paid from profits on the back end, and part of that. So they did an audit. They did an audit of Disney, of 3 of the movies that Disney and the Disney Fox thing, right? And 3 of the movies, and it showed that they lost like $40 billion in profits because of some clever accounting that they were doing. So basically, Fox and Disney and them are not paying their financier their profits because
they're gonna get sued, man.
They already did. This lawsuit has already been filed.
Paperwork's flying.
Because so here's where part of the thing is. I lend you the money, and I say, look, you're going to pay me back, but I'm going to get profits off of the streaming deals and the licensing deals that you get for the movie. I get some money, part of that. That's my that's what I get for the risk of this, right? And so what Disney and these people are doing, they're doing backroom deals where they take, and there's like agreed upon, like this is what the licensing fee for this is. They're saying this is the licensing fee, and they are licensing it to their own studios that own these streaming services for far, far less than what's agreed upon, so that there's no profit to give. So it's a loss. So it's counted as a loss, and no profit goes back to the financier, basically the person that bankrolled it, right?
Yeah.
So they found this on 3 movies to the sum of like $40 billion that they lost, right?
Ooh.
Well, in the process, this company agreed to say, hey, we're going to give this much money to the studio for this. They agreed upon it. Well, they never got their profits in, but they had this other agreement in the contract that says, if you need, we will float you the money for your portion of the investment on a project, right? Well, they didn't have the profits, so they were floated or given a loan by Disney, right? So as soon as the lawsuit gets filed, or as soon as the investigation starts, Disney sends an email to this company that says, oh, by the way, we have this clause in the contract that says if we ever have to loan you money, then that means that you're not good with the finances, so we can break the contract and we can buy back all of the products, all the IPs that you have rights to profits to.
Oh, okay.
Disney has been planning this for years, man. They've been doing this. And so, I mean, I think that they are intentionally tanking some of these movies, making them less profitable so that they can buy back all of their licensed stuff, all of these old movies that are profitable from their financier. So, because what they're wanting to do is, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit, is revive all of those old films. In fact, let's just talk about it right now. So,
kind of like the new Coke thing when the new Coke came out, and they're just like, it's a new flavor, and then went back to classic Coke.
Maybe where is the article?
Ain't no lawyer like a Disney lawyer.
Yeah, dude, but the way things are, they should like make new Disney and start with Song of the South. Please go back. And coming from somebody like me,
so
I should hate Song of the South. With what's new, it would be refreshing.
So check this out. Universal will be re-releasing Jurassic Park.
Speaking of the Song of the South, real quick, John Nolte at Breitbart, he recently rewatched it and he did a review of it. I like his movie reviews. I've followed his movie reviews for probably about 5 years now. So I'd recommend that you check that out.
Yeah.
What was his assessment of the movie? Was it as racist as we think it is?
No,
it's not.
Jim is like seen as the authority figure in the movie, and he helps with the moral development of the characters. So, the reason people say it's racist is because people use the Southern vernacular.
Yeah, and the imagery, it's shocking.
If you've got a Southern drawl, they think you're racist.
Yeah.
Well, they think you're stupid too. So.
So yeah, John says if Disney would stop ruining their products, they might make money. But here, I think it's intentional because look what's happening here. Universal will re-release Jurassic Park into theaters for its 30th anniversary, according to Deadline. The Steven Spielberg classic will be featured in real 3D equipped theaters throughout North America starting August 25th in 2023. It is possible that releasing older movies into theaters for special runs may become a trend as the SAG-AFTRA strike continues to push back the release dates of other movies.
Yep.
So they knew the strike was coming. They have no intention, I think, and they've said it. Iger himself has said, we're going to starve them out. Iger said that. So Iger is trying to get the rights to these movies back so they can re-release these movies and not have to pay.
So
Disney, they have been re-releasing those movies for the Disney 100 anniversary. They've been going through theaters for this past year, just re-releasing all their old movies.
Right. And right now, they've been working with this company for 15 years. And now they own Fox as well. So now they have to pay all of those profits out.
I got a tinfoil hat theory here. So, they're intentionally tanking their brands or all the stuff so they can get all the stuff back, and then they're, doing the whole writer strike thing. When the pendulum finally swings back to normalcy, I guess they'll have all of these like classic IPs that they can build off of and actually make good movies. They could make a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
they could.
Well, they'll have to have the talent around them in order to do that.
They're re-releasing old movies.
That's the huge thing.
Well, right now the talent is more important in their tax department because a lot of, I mean, like Hollywood reporting is notoriously fudgy.
Yeah. Blue Beetle's Hicks Villain says Blue Beetle's ticket sales look really bad so far. Oppenheimer was still filling the IMAX theaters. Today they're going to be empty. The truth is,
track to be less than the Flash, isn't it, for the opening weekend?
Yeah, but that movie died with one comment. Batman is a fascist. Yeah, dude. It's like, dude, why? Yeah, are you trying to be funny? No, it's not funny.
I love Hispanic culture. I
just
am
the
a
threat
slut for
though
Mexican food.
I don't. I hate my people. No,
just the threat that there's going to be a political leaning in the movie is killing.
People just don't want it.
They don't want to hear that stuff. They want to be entertained.
DC's most popular character is Batman.
Yeah, dude.
And you're gonna have the most racist, anti-white, Hispanic in Hollywood entertainment industry right now. Big Head Lopez.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that guy say Batman is a fascist, and even if he goes, I don't really think Batman's a fascist. Bull crap. Yes, that sounds right on brand for George Lopez, right?
Even with that, it's just a retelling of their Peacemaker joke because they did the same. It's just a retelling of their Peacemaker joke because they did the same thing in James Gunn's Peacemaker series.
Yeah,
it's 2 years ago. They had the same exact joke. Just this time it was with John Cena that time.
Yeah.
Well, they had a great joke about Aquaman too, but that
yeah,
that didn't cost them the series at all.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it bombs.
Yeah, me too.
Well, the thing is it's a small movie done by no offense meant, but not really big name people. George Lopez was lucky to get a role in the movie at all because he's not exactly
he's not an actor. He's a stand-up comedian.
He's not really the most welcome.
He's not even a good stand-up comedian.
In any of the Hollywood circles.
He used to be good. I mean, to be completely honest, he used to be good, but then after like the transplant, because he had like a kidney transplant, he changed and he's like a little bit more like bitter, and it's not enjoyable anymore.
Well,
but he used to be funny.
Also, the character is so obscure.
Mm-hmm.
The revision of the revised character is so obscure anymore that Gunn just looked at the movie and said, I guess we can use the same actor in the Superman film, and so we'll just call this part of it. Instead of just going, this is the last of next to the last of the old DCU stuff, because we're still sitting on Aquaman and we don't know what to do with it or how to cut it and how to make it as less offensive.
It's still being reshot because people don't like that movie. They just need to cancel it and take the loss and move on.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much
you get in too deep. You can't take that loss. You get in
I
too
don't
deep.
think James Gunn would
That's
allow
why
the
Flash
loss
come out
right now because he just started.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. What was that? I couldn't hear. Everyone was talking to each other.
Oh, sorry.
What did you say, CJ?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to somebody else.
No.
I said I don't think James Gunn would let them take the loss. Like I don't think he would pull it.
He can't. Now, here's what's funny is this director said things about Blue Beetle that James Gunn didn't agree to. James Gunn is also doing the like they're saying no Wonder Woman 3, and this was supposed to be Blue Beetle was supposed to be a standalone movie. That's what the director said. This standalone movie, but now there's supposed to be an end credit scene that ties it into the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Well, then how's it standalone? If it's not. What are they trying to make Blue Beetle the Iron Man, or the actor said that he would like to see Blue Beetle become the DCU's Nick Fury. Nick Fury.
Nick Fury?
Oh, that ain't gonna happen.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
I don't think you would put a teenager in charge of something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And dude, that kid is a very likable actor. Like
I like him a lot.
He's really good, but no, man, it's gonna be wasted.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Well, plus you don't know if that fascist remark's actually going to make the end cut of the movie because
Probably
of all
not
the backlash. The way everything's all rearranged. on final
Well,
cut.
the
I
issue,
don't know what's going to
the
be.
issue with that is that if they don't include it in the movie, then they can actually get sued because there was a lawsuit for Infinity War where they had some scenes that were not in the movie and they got sued for false advertising.
That's true.
You gotta be careful with those trailers.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it bombs.
That comment's absolutely right.
Yeah, it is.
I will say, like,
you know,
I heard George Lopez was playing like the racist uncle type of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I in the
That could
best
be.
they could do in good faith is say like maybe it's a joke and maybe he'll stick his foot in his mouth for it later. you
Oh, I'm
know?
sure they
hope.
meant it to be funny.
let's hope. But I mean, if you have a racist uncle,
Yeah.
a Hispanic uncle in your story, why not cast George Lopez? He's the perfect fit.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, they exist. I have racist uncles.
Well, I mean, I mean, the racist like family member is kind of a joke now. It's almost like I mean, it is kind of like a meme. So like I said, in the best I could do in good faith is say, oh, they're setting up a joke, and he'll take it back later. Maybe the end credit scene is Batman coming to save him.
Yeah, and he's like, I heard you called me a fascist.
Yeah, dude. That would be awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be kind of cool. You know,
That would be
that's
funny.
How they could play it.
Let's
but I'm
hope.
a good writer, so you know. they
You're,
kinda
yeah,
like
that's
it.
the problem. You're a good writer, and I don't think they have them over there.
That's
so
how you fix it, okay?
Yeah.
James Gunn, you get Batfleck to show up and save him. Okay.
people will love Batfleck.
I mean, that
People
would
do.
that would do a nice bump to it.
And I feel like such an idiot because I was like, Ben Affleck can't be Batman, and then I saw him as Batman, and I was like,
Really
holy
good.
crap, I love him.
The best fight scene of Batman has been done by Batfleck.
Yeah.
That was scary.
I think George
and
Lopez
gnarly.
would be better as the Tick.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, like, I had a little story, but I can't share it because this is going to get the channel struck. So just keep
All right. So let's get back to the theaters here. So AMC CEO Adam Aron warned the company recently conference call of a possible cash crunch for the nation's largest theater chain if the company is unable to raise cash. The dumbest thing we could ever do as a company is to run out of cash, he said. Well, yeah, it's kind of
Hello, Captain Obvious.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, yeah. Like, we're here to make money, but we don't have any anymore. Wow. Go figure.
I'm not a smart man.
Oh. So anyway, with all these release date adjustments being made by studios in response to the dual strike in Hollywood, they have the potential to slow the comeback from the pandemic box office drought. They're still in the comeback?
Don't call it a comeback.
That
been there for
that
years.
excuse is like 2 years old, 3 years old now.
Yeah. Ring the bell for yourself, Randy. Don't call it a comeback if you've been there for years.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah. So it's pretty, it seems pretty bleak. And so I think the studios are going to have to do these special re-releases and special events. And I know we've got to.
Delaware judge signed on a disputed restructuring plan, signed off on a restructuring plan that allowed preferred shares to convert to common, provided for a reverse stock split. That's more fancy bookkeeping there.
Yeah,
and
it is.
allows the company to raise new capital through the sales of shares, according to Wall Street Journal. By our flailing.
See how well
Which
we're
cup?
doing. Give us more money.
Which
Sure.
cup is the pebble in? See if you can find it.
Yeah, good luck with that. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is just a mess, guys. Just all a mess.
It would be
over
smart
there.
though for these studios to re-release a bunch of classic old films in order to keep the theaters running while they catch up, especially with the strikes going on. There's a lot of
I mean,
great
even-
cinema out there waiting. You know, folks would pay a ticket, especially a discounted ticket, to sit in a theater and watch some great old films. So,
Well, I mean, even if you re-release Dune Part 1 before the release of Dune Part 2, that would double your profits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Blue Beetle is a blue iron spider.
Yeah.
It just feels like
Dude,
Warner
it's
Brothers
true.
is trying to play catch up.
Will J. Man did a great thing for George Lopez. You don't know if you know who El Chapulín Colorado is.
I don't even know what you said.
Yeah.
Dude, El Chapulín Colorado, it's like it's a superhero from the 70s out of Mexico.
Oh,
Played by
okay.
a comedian. And dude, that would be a great movie though.
Wait, is it open light? Is it public domain, or can we get rights?
I have no idea.
So this character, I would love to do a comic book about this.
Yeah, let me look for him.
He was a comedian, and then he was a superhero.
No, the comedian had this show called Chespirito, and within Chespirito there was like episodes of El Chapulín Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Right.
So it was a show within a show then.
Yeah. But dude, it was funny because he was like an idiot, and he had like these catchphrases that were always like I don't know, it's just and he looks funny.
So while you're doing that, in a rare turn of events, now this right here, this is not what we call a plot twist. We call this one a story turn. Okay, this is a story turn here where Luke on Nerd Bacon brings up an article from CBR.com.
Oof.
This is not a plot twist, it's a story turn, folks.
Mark your calendars.
There you go.
This is what? Yes, we are going to gild the lily a little bit with a couple of articles from CBR this morning, of all places. They said that they were restructuring, and they're doing better. They're doing better.
Trying to do better.
This article right here by Timothy Donahue says that Marvel needs to remember why Stan Lee and Steve Ditko made Spider-Man suffer. Basically, the gist of this article is they're saying that all of this suffering that they're making Peter Parker go through in the current story just seems to be suffering for suffering's sake.
Yeah. There's no growth.
There's no growth. The only reason that Stan and Steve had Spider-Man suffer was to keep him grounded as an everyman hero. And now he's no longer an everyman hero. He's a sad clown.
He's a
Well, that's the whole thing. They've lost the idea of heroics.
Yeah, but
in comics in general, it's not just Spider-Man, but that's why they abuse all these characters now.
Well, yeah, they can't have a heroic, male person.
It just can't happen. It's toxic masculinity.
You can make somebody look good if you hate them. You know what I mean? And that's how it feels in writing Spider-Man. It's just like they hate the character, they hate what he represents, they hate what he comes from, and they hate who made it.
Let's look what they did to the Punisher.
Yeah.
Not that he was ever really a hero, but
so
wow.
I saw a thing about Knights recently, and how, like, the idea was that Knights used to be these just warriors that a boy could be reading a story and look up to the idea that they could be just and righteous and face adversity against like overwhelming odds, and they can't have that.
Nope.
True.
No, the creators would probably be too called out then.
Well, I think part of the problem is they don't understand the difference between plot and story, which is, kind of why we were bringing this up this week. They think that story is plot. They think that they're the same thing. They don't think they're distinguishable. So what they're doing is they're just giving us a series of events, which is plot. Plot is basically, it's like reading a history book. This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Or a news article. They don't understand story encompasses character development, theme, mood, and all of these other elements that go into it that kind of, it's the difference between the forest and the trees. Plot is the trees, but the story is how all of that comes together with some of these more abstract ideas, like how these characters, like what the characters are about, characterization and things like that.
I always liken it to DNA if it helps. So
good. Yeah.
So you've
explain
got
that.
plot running one way, you've got character running one way, and then you have all these little elements in between that tie them together, and then they twist. So you can have your plot twist.
That's a great analogy.
I've been doing it for years, so.
I mean, the way I see it is that plot gives you what happens, but story gives you why it happens.
Yeah.
The motivations of the characters,
right,
how they react to the reality, and that's the thing. The plot will not give you that. This is a Chapulín Colorado, so it was like 15 minutes short of a guy who will come in, had no clue, but somehow he'll end up winning.
I love
looks like Mork and Mindy almost, but like
yeah, it's in that vein. But I think this is older. And the thing with the Chapulín, this has been translated into Russian. This has been all over the world. But yeah, I guess the U.S. They never really knew it. And yeah, dude, like I don't know. This is like I grew up watching this superhero.
That's funny. I like that. So, one of the comments here is that Marvel is doing so much pandering. They're all sad clowns. Well, the problem is when you don't understand. So when you don't understand plot and story and how the two work together, there's no characterization. They're completely abandoning characterization. This paragraph alone is worth reading the article. Say, for instance, there's this origin story in Amazing Fantasy number 15, which saw him, being Spider-Man, gain incredible powers and earning initial success in show business. This was tempered by him losing his uncle. However, that made him realize the great responsibility that comes with great power. Conversely, other stories might have him selling a great photo of Spider-Man to the Daily Bugle and suddenly doing well for himself financially, only for his personal relationships with ladies such as Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane Watson begin to falter. These are there has to be something to keep Peter from being too cartoonishly successful, but the opposite extreme must also be avoided, because they don't understand the balance, because it's either they're trying to force in talking points, or worse, they think that trying to tell an interpersonal story is plot. There's no plot in that. There's nothing really happening. Yeah. That's just two people bantering back and forth. That's
talking
why you get
in hallways.
Yeah, that's why you get talking in hallways. That's why you get complaining about Twitter at coffee shops. Mm-hmm. That's why you get this stuff, because there's no plot. And then you've got writers that all they know is like this happened, no characterization, no meat, no tendons between those things to keep it all together. And it just starts to fail. But you had got people like Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Ditko gets credit only for the art, but he was as much a storyteller as anyone. Mm-hmm. He drew these panels and explained the emotion and helped the flow and pacing of the story, which is, again, flow and pacing is an important aspect of this stuff. But they told a story about Peter Parker that had duality. Not only did he have duality in who he was as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but he had duality in his life from success and failure. That when one thing good happens, it's usually has a juxtaposition of something negative in your life. That it's like, well, it was a good day until that happened, and it grounded. It made the character relatable, because we all get that, and they're losing that. They're really losing that. So CBR has this article about how they need to remember, and it's funny that we're kind of getting back to the point where even a site like this realizes that we've strayed away from the classic elements of storytelling that made comic books so good.
Yeah.
Well, like
I think
a lot
that's
of
part of the
these
reason
guys, a lot of these guys are basically they're shoehorned into not just telling their ideology and stuff like that. They have like other writers around them keeping them locked in. They can't step outside of the of that circle. So they're shooting themselves in the foot, but they also have the other writer beside them, or the publisher, whoever, also shooting them in the foot as well.
They're shooting at them too, yeah.
Right.
Double shot.
We'll go back to DC now. I wanted to have that break with Marvel because we'd been blasting DC pretty hard.
Well, I think in general, there's a big problem with hiring people who are younger and people that are so attached to Twitter, because a lot of what I've seen in the destruction of stories lately is just been you need people to write so a lot of people know deconstructionism, and it's very easy. It's very easy to write nihilism right now.
It's so easy.
A lot of people. I mean, I can't have a conversation about politics with anybody without a trigger warning or something, And I, after having so many of them with my neighbors and people that are around me, I've noticed that a lot of people are just broken. At this point, it's you need people who can write beyond the pain too. So like a lot of people are like, oh, Spider-Man is supposed to suffer, but you don't actually know how to redeem that suffering. And you don't see that redemption and suffering in your own life. And because most of the time, because these people are young or they're immature or they're inexperienced with stuff like that, they can't write good stories because they can't write a good ending to it.
Yeah. They haven't. They don't know the outcomes.
Well, let's ask Griffin this question. He's 22. He's an editor.
Yeah, exactly.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Do you know how to write a happy ending? Do you know what happy is?
Have you ever received a happy ending after the massage, Griffin?
Hey yo.
Honestly, right now things are going pretty good, so I'd say yeah.
There you go.
Right. Okay. What are your thoughts on this deconstructionism that's happening, and what do you like? You know, I know I know our demographic here. We get real pissy about comic books these days because they're terrible at what they're doing. You know, well, what do you think about the modern comic books?
I think a lot of the modern comics, especially like with Marvel and DC, they keep doing these yearly events that really take away from the character development and the story that they should be trying to tell, and they're trying to do too much instead of focusing on the character and what the character is supposed to stand for and mean. And as like we said with Spider-Man, how when you have the failure, you also have success, and instead of just making them suffer just to suffer, they're just kind of getting lost in the name of the character and just that the character's going to make money just because it's a Spider-Man comic. They're not really trying to do anything with it.
You get it. You get it. They're taking these characters that they don't care about. They just know about.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
like recently with the Night Terrors story that DC is doing with the Flash run, like over and over again for the past 20 years, it's been established like 5 or 6 times that Wally West has been consistently faster than Barry Allen, but you still have these writers that keep saying Barry Allen is faster, and how Wally was even just struggling just to catch up with him, and it keeps destroying all the development they've had for the previous years just because some of the writers aren't as caught up with what's been going on in their own stories.
I think Randy said it best once. Like they're hiring people that have never read any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Actually, this is a stepping stone to go work for Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is commendable. If that's what you want to do, hey, all the long way.
Don't be here.
Just a stop on their resume.
Exactly.
Yep. Do independent film. Don't do independent
exactly.
comics.
Yeah, it's just a stop on their resume.
Yep. People like Kirby and Kubert.
Yeah, let's read that one. People like Kirby and Kubert. I had real lives, real experiences, ergo great stories. And that, I think that is a downfall of our current society, and especially with the pandemic, where people live their life on social media, which is not real.
Right.
And people are in some cases forbidden from having real world experiences because you can't go there, or, it's now people are finally starting to get out and adventure out some more. And it's having those adventures that you can live vicariously through reality TV.
Well,
but you have to understand reality TV is not even reality.
Our social media back in the day was like bonfires and beers and music hanging around. Like today, like these young adults or whatever going into writing, they don't have any of those experiences. They're like you said, their entire life is on Twitter. Their entire life is on social media. Their entire life is behind a screen with a cell phone. They don't have any of the real world knowledge that most of I hate to say it, or not hate to say it, but like us older cats, I'm like not even that old.
I've seen young people today. I'm okay with being old.
Griffin's an exception.
Yeah,
he's right. He's 100%
if you're hearing
right,
something, if you're hearing something here,
my social media was getting punched in the face.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like that's how you know what to say and not to say. Like when you get punched in the face, I mean, a little time passes and it's like, hey, I shouldn't have said that last time.
Griffin, our advice is get out and live. Adventure,
I'm not
love
really
a little.
on social media except for just doing my own marketing. For
you're
this.
hardly ever on there, which
stay
is great.
outside of it.
But my advice to every young person that wants to be a good writer, a good storyteller, get out there, love, hurt, get in a few fist fights, know what it feels like to break a bone or to get some stitches.
Go get a massage, get a happy ending.
Adventure a little bit. That way you can understand, try something and fail at it. people are afraid to fail.
Yeah,
they're afraid to fail. Just, you know,
it is one of the harder pains to deal with. But you know what? If you do it enough, you don't feel it anymore.
Right.
I remember growing up.
I don't know if I'm going a little bit off topic, but I was having this conversation, and this is kind of resonating. It's the lack of having real dads. And I'm not talking about like, oh, single mothers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having a real dad, and a real dad is like somebody who's not your friend.
Interaction, yeah.
Somebody's going to give you, when you screw up, somebody who gives you that look of disgust, like, I made you.
Like, my God, you're going to embarrass me. Stop
it. It can be translated into, ugh. You know, a lot of people need that. Because a lot of people are really free, and there's, like, I guess, too much freedom. Like, I'm infallible. Like, no, you're not. You suck, and everybody hates you. But they need that look of disgust, and they don't have a dad. I mean, I could do that service. Like, just stare at you and go, like, what are this?
So when I was growing up,
I would like to say deconstructionism has its place with the villains and everything, but I also think reconstructionism is a lot harder. And I think too, like you can't escape the culture that you're born into. Like when I think about this, I think about like I liked anime a lot as a kid, so like I still like it depending on who's writing it and whatever.
Yeah.
But like you can't. I think part of the reason I liked it is because it's more universal to me, because the translation had to be, it's once removed from things. And if you look at like a history of, like, I look at Star Trek with this, there have been like whole papers with when Star Trek started out in the 60s, you had the culture of the 60s. So your Prime Directive, even with the Prime Directive, you had a lot of people that were pro-freedom, like emancipate these people from slavery and, like let them figure out how to work with freedom in their, like, even when they broke the Prime Directive and everything. And you can see this change throughout the 80s and the 90s with the Cold War, like Star Trek 6, you know, the final one that they did. Yes. The final one they did with Spock and Shatner and everything. And they're talking about Klingons, who are kind of like an allegory for Russian people rights. And you know, you can see the relations trying to thaw, and just so much resistance even within that film, and the struggle and the characters there. And it's a good kind of historical mirror in some way for that period of time. And if you look at today's culture by contrast, you have people that have inherited these really easy lives. I mean, look at that kid that got in trouble with the voice actors for the Scooby-Doo and the what is it, Freddy Got Fingered crossover, Friday Night's Freddy crossover. Yeah, don't know my crossover there. But I mean, like he's grown up in a world where he's had a lot of things. Like I look at people who are worried about AI, and I'm like, you know, Photoshop is like 30 years old, right? And you know, people 100 years ago, painters 100 years ago would have been like, this is cheating. And it's like, it's the same kind of thing, even if it's different in the nuances. So I
remember 5 years ago, people that told me that I drew on a tablet, even though I was drawing by hand, using tools, that it wasn't real art. And now those people are like, no, that's real art, but the AI is not, right? So, I mean, it's.
You kind of grow into these cultural issues, and you'll see that reflected in your work. And the culture issues with deconstructionism today is just, it's leaning into the nihilism, and the happy ending isn't possible because people today can't see how it would be possible. A lot of people haven't moved to that point where it'll come out, you know.
Pedro, I think you made a reasonable point. Woodrow says, I never had a dad or a real father figure. People need that. I grew up scared of everything because I wasn't taught much about life. I had to learn things the hard way.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm not bashing people without parents. No. I'm just saying, like, I see this is lacking. And especially in young people, like this trait
I don't think
know
it's
where you're going too far. And now people go to the fact that there's more than one truth. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. There's only one truth, and reality will be really harsh on you. Like, they've come with all the systems to shelter themselves, but it's now all crumbling down. Because all these structures of, oh yeah, I'm gonna hire my friends and we're gonna write about freedom and inclusivity, like people are not consuming your stuff. And now all this house of cards you built is coming down, and then you're gonna be confronted to reality to know if you're a real artist or just a guy who needs to be in a loony bin playing with Play-Doh?
So I don't think it's just fathers too. Like Timmy Mello here had a comment called "People need a slap of reality," and it's like when I was growing up, when we were gathered around the bonfire, and to circle back a bit, you got people had just said stuff to each other that offended each other, and basically how they settled thing. People had a fist fight, and the crowd would break it up at a certain point, or they would be like really organized in that sense, where nobody got real hurt, and the winner would buy the person that lost a beer. They'd hash it out, and then the conflict would be resolved. Right. People today have none of that social. Sometimes you got to punch somebody in the face. It just got to happen. Sometimes you got to get punched in the face.
Look, it's okay. You can disagree. I was talking with John last night. John's Longbox, who's in the chat this morning. I went on his show last night and we talked for 2 hours. And one of the things that was brought up was the art of conversation, that you can disagree and still be cool with people. Yeah. There's a whole lot of people out there that if you disagree with them, they're like, I still want to be friends though.
We can't
like,
be
I'm sorry.
anymore.
I'm sorry I disagree. I still want to be friends. Yeah. I'm like, we're cool. I mean, just because we don't agree. Look, I don't agree with most people on something. I can find something with each one of you on the panel that we disagree on. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Only one?
At least one. At least one.
I'm an expert at getting pissed off, guys. Yeah.
And, well, we have gotten off topic.
Yeah.
DC president and publisher Jim Lee thinks that the addition of James Gunn and Peter Safran as heads of DC Studio will renew interest in comic brand. I disagree.
This just shows you how slow the news cycle is for comics right now, because that's dated today,
August 16th.
Yeah, that's anyway.
Yesterday.
So, and how long have Gunn and Safran been in charge? For months.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I think it could help a little bit just for the fact that when in James Gunn's announcement video, how for each of his movies he was referencing a comic for someone to go read. I do think it will get some people to go read those stories, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term growth. Because right now the comic industry is growing, but it's not from DC and Marvel. It's from all of these smaller indie brands popping up. And I think for this, it will just perhaps get people more interested in it, but they're going to stray away from it towards the end.
This is literally an example of Jim Lee's been handed an opportunity and he has no idea how to use it.
No.
Yeah, he squandered it.
It might bring some popularity back to the brand.
Yeah.
Well,
that thought is like 10 years old.
The problem is that it used to work in reverse. It was the comics that inspired the popularity of the cinema.
Amen.
And now we're hoping to God that there can be some director or story kind of, some showrunner that comes in, this architect of great storytelling can somehow get people interested in this little tiny bit of this company's business that is only there for the sake of the IPs they can rape.
They're grasping for straws from people who boast that they never read the source material.
Yeah.
Like it's a good
Jim should be leading the charge on fresh IPs.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I think it is a time for like a cultural sort of renewal anyway. If you bleed things dry too long, people get tired of it, and you need to have a break. Part of the reason I think so many of these companies are in trouble is just because they are, kind of like well-oiled machines. They're designed to work in a specific way, input, output type things. And then there have been so many things in the last couple of years that have more or less thrown sand into those gears, and they're still trying to push through a lot of the stuff. I mean, like even having like a bigger staff that's not necessary, like with those writer strikes. I don't think anybody, they do have some probably legitimate points of talking like that they need to discuss, but like I would never want like 4 writers in the room. That's like too many cooks in the the kitchen. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the
Yep.
more ridiculous kind of like, we need at least 20. And it's like, no.
Writing by committee.
When you're writing by committee, you get the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
what
the-
happens.
these
You're not
two
going to make
characters-
quality stuff.
these
I
two
want to know
characters
who
are
drew
perfect
this
examples,
illustration.
though. Yeah, but these two characters are perfect example of what's wrong. Daredevil, 10 years ago, awesome character. Now he is like he did like the Walk of Shame on She-Hulk. I don't see him at all as Daredevil anymore. In Punisher, they killed him.
Maybe
and-
he was a Skrull.
yeah, or something. And then the Punisher, like his wife came from the dead and took everything from him. That's not
so
only
lame.
illegal. Yeah, that's not only illegal because I mean the dead can't inherit anything. So
Right.
That's
coming
sad
out
and
of that
sickening is what it is.
But like
anyway.
it was like a direct attempt to destroy a character. Like these guys are saboteurs.
Who drew this picture and why does Daredevil have a smooth undersole on his shoe?
Yeah,
How do you get away with that shit?
Yeah,
Excuse me, that
looks
stuff.
slippy.
He'd be sliding across the floor.
Yeah,
How do you get any traction?
Slip
So
on
here's
every
another-
on every railing and rooftop.
Yeah. Slip sliding everywhere because it's always wet too. So
He's
another
a man
one from
without
CBR.
fear, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man with
The
no
man
traction
without
either.
teeth. The
Man without grip. So another good one from CBR this week.
Why is a foot like that anyway?
It says Marvel needs new imprints if the company wants to take bigger risk.
Yeah.
Basically, the gist of this is that Marvel, the editors over there, don't want to take any risk because Marvel is such a globally known company. But in order for them to try out new IPs and to create new things, they need a new imprint so that they can explore a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
Speaking about imprints there with the Marvel, or with his shoe there. Basically, yes. What's going on is his shoe is flat, so he can slip off an edge. They can kill him off, and they replace him like his female cousin.
Daredevil.
I thought maybe you'd go water skiing personally.
There you go. That's a good reason, right there.
Yeah.
Good for skiing.
Wasn't
Because
like
it never
Elektra-
snows in New York. Never
Yeah.
snows.
Wasn't like Elektra Daredevil for a little while?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
The
so
Ben Affleck movie, something like that.
Who
No,
knows?
just in the comics for like the
On the
past,
comics.
like 5 years ago.
5 years ago. So yeah, maybe they're striving for that, but it's like a Daredevil suicide suit.
The sad thing is them taking bold chances is making Captain America a Hydra agent or
Oh,
that
dude, I
cooking
hated that so
Punisher.
much.
I think
No,
everyone hated
you know.
that. Everyone hated it so much they had to retcon it by saying it was not even in this universe.
One more day with Spider-Man, that kind of stuff.
So
The
yeah,
pendulum can't swing back
it's
soon enough.
talking about the ability to really explore different stories and things like that, and how the Marvel universe is so familiar and yet balanced right now that it needs new stuff, and that these characters that people are familiar with, people are getting tired. They're overused.
And they have the money to do new things too.
There's
They just don't
there's a
want to.
difference between overused and abused.
Abused.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
These characters, these icons, are being totally abused up there, and they need to be told to cut it out, learn what a hero is, and start telling real stories again.
That's not
More
going to happen
meaningful
for a little
stories
while.
too.
Yes.
So
All
When
of
they have
these
the money, I don't know why
characters,
they're not taking these risks. Because I mean, they don't have much to lose.
Right. They've
and
got
it's not
money.
even
They can do it.
risk to go out and find actual writers.
They don't have
well,
money
see,
anymore.
I actually think they have a lot more to lose if they go with new IPs because it's just kind of like a condemnation of what they're currently doing.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of pride that
Yeah,
is at risk.
but that's a sin, though.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you met anybody that works in some of these companies?
Well, I guess
It's
we,
not
Yeah.
that. It doesn't
I guess we
come
run
in that.
into I guess we run into this issue.
Ding.
If you are afraid to do it because of the optics, you're going to wind up dying anyway because you're running out of good material. But the other problem that we run into with Marvel is we have to realize that they're now owned. They're now owned by
A large heartless
these
corporation.
large heartless a large heart. Thank you. That was the words I was looking for.
You're welcome.
They're owned by a large heartless corporation, and publishing, even if they try a new IP, the only way they could be successful was something new.
I mean, even if
is
they
if they
do a
get
new
their
IP,
finger back on the pulse of the fans.
It's not just that, but they actually look at comics, publishing physical comics, as the gum that's on the bottom of Daredevil's foot.
Yeah, and that opinion is that of the person writing the article, John.
Yeah,
not mine. I love these characters. I want to know more. I want to see more of these characters. Not the way they're writing them now, but I want to see more really good stuff from these characters. But I also want to see something new.
Yeah.
When was the last person that actually made a new character for Marvel?
Well, we're not even if
That's
they made
Miles is
characters,
going to be the most
though.
successful one recently. It's going to be Miles, and that was a little over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's probably longer than that.
Hold on, we're talking over each other again, guys.
Probably longer than that, Griffin. It's probably closer to 15.
Yeah,
for
So
Miles.
it was 2010 or 2009. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the best explanation for why this is not happening was given by Shane Davis. Like, why would you give your best work to somebody that's not going to be yours in the end?
That's it exactly.
Right.
Their
Whiskey, what
royalty
were you
program
saying?
sucks.
So I was saying, like, even if they make these new IPs and get a bunch of new characters, it's going to be the same song and dance. They're just going to tank right out the gate because they don't know how to write stories,
Yeah,
and they're specifically hiring people that don't know how to write stories. It's all about talking in the hallways.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to give away my best ideas to a company that has proven that they won't respect it in 40 years.
Yeah, dude. James Starlin, baby.
No, I'm not going to do that.
There you go.
So again, even though that I kind of agree with this article in the sense that that Marvel needs to do something new, I also disagree that it's even worth doing for Marvel to even help them. I don't think that it will even help them.
No.
And I don't think they need to be helped.
Nope.
Quite honestly, I don't feel like they need to be helped.
They need to be crashed and burned and then sold to somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing.
Last article we're going to look at.
Even if you sold it, though, you'd still run into that same problem. They would still need to do something to build back the brand.
Yeah, and it's sold to somebody that knows what they're doing.
Look, if you needed a reason to like Freddie Mercury even more, I will give you one. So it turns out, according to Screen Rant, Sotheby's, a private auction house, has just announced an auction of Mercury's personal belongings, which will run in London until September 13th of 2023. There are 346 lots overall, and many of them have something to do with Marvel or DC. This auction has allowed the late singer's fans to take a sneak peek into the musical icon's life and hobbies, one of which seems to have been collecting superhero comic books.
There you go.
My gosh. I'm straight, but
man, everyone's gay once in a while.
Dude, like, nothing like
all you got to do is see him perform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
And know
he can sing in
he's
your ear.
read a lot of Kirby dynamics.
yeah, he has. That guy, I'm telling you, my favorite musical artist of all time, Freddie Mercury. I mean, the man knew how to perform. And now to find out that he is a huge comic book fan. So issues of Marvel's The Fantastic Four, X-Men, and DC's Booster Gold, Booster Gold, can be spotted among Mercury's things in the Sotheby's auction. The musician's collection includes 22 issues of The Fantastic Four, all ranging from 1965 to 1977, which means that the singer was a Marvel reader almost from the start. The first superhero team, which was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, debuted in 1961. Mercury did not have as many X-Men issues. Sotheby's only offered 3 of them, all from 1987. There was only one Booster Gold comic from 1987, the year after the character first appeared. The singer's comic book collection already has 38 bids, and the highest one so far is $2,806. Man, if I had money that wasn't tied up in businesses right now, you would see Luke like auction. I'm like, to own, number one, it's owning comics, but to own one of my favorite artists' comic book collection would be so cool.
Pretty cool.
There you go.
I mean, yeah,
it just
how cool
goes to
is.
it just goes to show you that like comics were always diverse and for everybody. They weren't
Yeah.
and
Everybody.
they weren't exact and like nowadays they're just for a select group of the
This is
talking in the
effective.
hallways people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it.
Comics are awesome.
It's just so dumb, man.
Thanks,
Like,
Daniel.
just people were buying comics. They were for everybody. They just let's just go back. We've come too far. Let's just go back.
Yep. Let's get back to comics for everyone.
Yeah.
Speaking of comics for everyone, Griffin,
Yeah.
let's watch your trailer.
Okay.
Trailer time.
No, we don't.
Aww.
Stop
I'm
it.
hearing it though.
Hold on.
I'm hearing the.
Yeah, it's. I
That doesn't
went to
work.
went to full screen and it won't exit. Went to full screen over here and it won't
Try
exit.
reloading it. Try reloading the page.
It won't.
Reboot it.
I can't. It's locked me out.
Oh,
lost them
okay.
to be
Luke,
portrayed.
Luke, you are Gen X, sir.
No, like it's the green site. F those guys.
I can remove it.
It's
There you go.
definitely because of the green site.
Sons of.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
the
can add
music
it
is
again.
nice,
Yeah,
though.
I can put it back up. It won't.
I like
It
that
won't convert
guitar.
back.
There we
though,
go.
will it?
Okay.
Okay.
There we
Right.
go. Freaking green site. You guys suck.
Let's try
I
this
hate
again.
you with everything in my body. Okay. I'm gonna play the trailer this
Oh,
time.
that's some new backers since we started. Look at that.
Just saying small.
Brand new from Moonfall Publishing.
First off, cool music.
Thank you.
Dude, this took me back to my garage band days, dude. The tone of the guitar.
Who did
really
the music?
cool, man.
It was a free audio file online.
There
Nice.
you go, dude. So much talent out there.
So I want to get to
A little bit before that.
Whoa!
right here.
Hey!
Right
There.
here.
Yep.
Stars have vanished from the universe.
Yes.
Okay. You wouldn't be able to see anything.
What?
Like
Well,
you
we're
wouldn't
not
be able to see the
counting the
moon.
sun. We're not counting the sun. The sun is
Well-
still there.
The sun is a star.
The sun is a star. You're right. But
Yeah.
for
You know, all those other stars are suns for something.
yes. For how our universe is structured, we have each of the stars being a departed soul in the sky, and there was something occurred that threw the natural balance of things a little bit out of whack, that caused these stars to vanish and chaos be reintroduced into the universe.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah,
the sun is a star.
Yeah, so I didn't know that part until because I pretty much just read the script that you gave me and I drew these pages. And I'm like, "Oh, well, this is daytime." And then when you said all the stars are gone, I was like, what?
Yeah, your script is fine with that.
I was like, but there's a sun. There's a sun.
Yes.
There's a sun, and the sun is a star. How is this happening? And so that's what I'm going to give you a hard time about.
No, that's fine. With the time that it happens for when it takes place in your story, it wouldn't happen until she was actually back in the Vatican to begin with. So there were no outdoor scenes that you drew until the next one.
Oh yeah, because I drew the Statue of Liberty.
You did,
but,
John.
yeah. So as I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, well, it really goes to the colorist. Poor Edgar. He's going to have to go in and he's going to have to make everything. And I'm like, but I said, wow, this would have been a lot easier if I had known all the stars were gone, because then there'd be no light, and it would just pretty much just be black pages.
Yeah, it'd be really hard to sell though. That would take a marketing genius to pull
Stan
off.
Lee couldn't even sell that book.
And guys, this is the obscure level of debates you get when you're creating comic books.
And there's another video right there with a story trailer for anyone that's interested.
All right, let's check this one out.
Nightfall is upon us. So let me begin by asking, what are you into? Sci-fi? Mystery? A bit of heaven or hell, perhaps? Mythology? Ancient Greek or Egyptian? A sprinkling of fairy tales, or perhaps something in between all of that?
Man, these logos are hot, dude.
It's been nearly 10 years since Moonfall Publishing was first conjured into existence. It's been a little over 1 since our deadlines were set in stone. And in about 3 months' time, all these years of intense emotions, mistakes, and successes will finally bear fruit. And we want you to be there to experience it all with us. The fruit that is our first comic book anthology. Titled When Night Falls, it is comprised of 9 short stories and will introduce our first 10 key characters into what will become and what we call our Nocturnal Verse. So who am I supposed to be?
Oh, there it is again.
Hey there, my name is Tomasz, and I go by the alias of TG Engineer. I'm one of the writers and creators over at Moonfall Publishing. And through these stories, written by people from many walks of life, we hope to bring you a journey of magic and wonder.
And we will pull you into the perspective of our characters and allow you to experience the new world from their point of view, and quite possibly take over your mind.
We invite you to a world where fantasy and reality clash, opening up new doors in life.
And above all, give you characters that you will never forget, and stories that are worth sharing. So on behalf of all those who made these stories possible, I hope that you have as much fun in reading them as we did in creating them. Remember, on August 2023, when night falls, heroes will rise.
Nice.
Welcome to the Nocturnal Verse.
That's a nice accent. Was it New Jersey?
No, I believe he's Welsh.
Okay.
To answer some of the comments, no, not all of the stars is someone who passed away. There are still celestial bodies. It's just when someone dies, they just get added to the sky.
Okay. All right, so you've got 9 stories?
Yes.
And these will all wind up being...
We're going to start doing full-length graphic novels and issues for each of the characters.
Okay, all right. So what gave you... Where did this idea for this universe come from? Where did this spring
This
out?
was actually our second iteration of our launch pad. We originally had a story, I think 4, maybe 5 years ago now, but we had a writer by the name of Christopher Matuziak, but he had some health complications and he had to abandon the project. And one of the characters that he brought to life was one of our main characters, who's the leading star, and we decided to retire that character out of respect to him, since he's the one who created it. He said we could use it, but we just didn't feel right moving forward without him. So we scrapped everything and redid it, and that's what we got here. And we started with this iteration, like I said, like about 4 years ago, and it took a lot of hard work to get to where we are today. And it was a lot of fun, though. I don't regret a thing. We got a lot of talent. As a little further down, we have 6 writers. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Jason Snyder, Matthew Klein, and David Flesher. That's a little bit above. But they've all done some pretty great work. Think up a little bit more right there.
All right, yeah.
So we have some pretty good writers, and we have some very talented artists who really drew some outstanding pages. Of course, we have Luke. And
you've got Piper. We know Piper.
She wrote the Bourne story for us, and we're very excited to continue for that one.
Yeah, we know Piper.
Yeah, she's doing very well with The Little Mermaid right now. Very happy to see that. Past almost 10K now, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Almost 18.
18. Wow,
We'll take a look at that here in a little bit.
That's insane.
Yeah. I know Eduardo.
Speaking of which, I read a comment back there, like, we need to flip the bird, dude.
We do?
Yeah, there was some backing happening.
Oh my gosh. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, we haven't been paying much attention to the chat.
I've been trying my best. I really have.
Yeah.
They're really just coming in fast.
Yeah.
Our chat is on fire today.
And if you're out there watching us, folks, give us a like.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Hit one of those icons. It helps with our algorithm.
Yeah, tell us we're
very
pretty.
Enjoying this conversation, you should show it.
Yep.
They like their bacon crispy today, I guess.
Go ahead and if you backed, go ahead and throw it in the chat again so I can find it, because it's very buried for me right now.
Yeah.
John's got to run. We'll see you soon, John.
See you, John.
Take care. Thanks for listening. We're archived. So Luke Stone Studios channel, go over there and catch up when you can.
Yeah, I think when I brought Piper on board for this project, she's only written one project before this. So this one has been waiting in the shelves for a bit for her. So I'm pretty sure she's excited to finally get this out.
Yeah, she wrote Rift Riders.
Yeah.
Which is another over 10K project.
And she's doing great.
Yeah. Piper's got a good track record.
I'm hoping it continues. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. So, what got backed?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm looking for it.
Probably not back far enough.
Yeah.
It's 29 backers. Yeah, I can't find it.
Oh yeah, like they Griffin said he had.
I said that the number went up since I started this. Since I joined today, it was.
So we haven't flipped that bird. That's what.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
So we've got to flip it?
Yeah, we got to flip it. Flip it for Griffin.
They flipped you the bird, Griffin.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I just love salsa. Sorry.
So, what has been your experience so far with being kind of this publisher and coming up with these ideas, bringing together a creative team, number one, that's willing to share ideas within a shared universe?
Yeah.
What's that been like?
It definitely took a lot of learning and adjusting. When we first brought on, I was a lot more timid with it, and I've definitely grown into it a lot more, which has definitely made things go a little bit better. But all the writers have been extremely patient and more than helpful. They're very experienced, and they have been very passionate about this project. That wasn't able to pay them, and they were going to get paid after the Kickstarter, but because it was delayed due to the rebranding, I paid them earlier. But they've been waiting patiently for a long time, and they've honestly been the best team I could have asked for. But it's required me to learn a lot. I know I've met with you a couple times, and you've definitely given me some advice, which has been very helpful. But I don't even know where to start. There's a lot of things have happened. I've learned so much from it. There's definitely been some mistakes that I definitely know what to do better for the next campaign and for the next book, just to make things a little bit easier on myself. But
what are some of those things? Share that experience.
Well, one thing in particular is I think I want to get more art commissioned for Kickstarter or for whatever crowdfunding, and for marketing purposes. I was too focused on the book and not as much on the marketing side, whereas I should have gone more prints done, some marketing art, just so it would have been fun for whenever I post, someone that would have something new to see that wasn't going to be in the book. Having the headers on the page be done with the artwork, and just having a lot more things done ahead of time instead of scrambling for like the last couple of weeks and putting things off.
I will give you some advice. Did you see how far I had to scroll to get to page art?
Yeah.
I would stick at least a page from each one and like some kind of a cool graphic up at the top.
Okay.
Just so people can see some of the page work right away.
Got it.
You could stick them all in like one compilation at the front.
Yeah, people want to see finished art. That is the number one thing. And how these are bigger and the other ones are smaller. If you can make those other ones bigger, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was due to a resolution issue, and the marketing team I had hired is finicky.
You hired a marketing team?
I hired a marketing team.
Who duped you into that?
I was reached out by Phil Locklear.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
That's fair.
I despise YouTube marketers or crowdfunding marketers.
Oh yeah, no,
because they lie, and I've got friends that do this, and I'm like, look, there's no way to guarantee that a campaign's going to do well.
Well, no, it was something that we just did like starting back in February. They made the Kickstarter page. They did the first trailer that you saw, and they helped with some of the social media posting. But it is something I do regret.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of social media posting, and this is not the cleanest campaign page out there. This could be set up a lot better, right?
Yep.
So I remember we've had a couple people come on, and actually, CJ, you've come on, and I've given this advice before, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm like,
it all sounds very familiar. So.
Art. See, this is homework. This is what this is. This is homework.
And they did
If
your
people have to
trailer?
scroll, see, people will stop right here. Okay, you've got there's no art from this outside of this, and they're done. They're done looking. You want that? You want to put your basically, what are you selling? What are you most proud of, and what are people excited about? Answer those three questions. If you can answer those three questions in the first 17 seconds of your page, nobody really cares about why Kickstarter. Nobody really cares about, what you talk about the creative team later. None of that matters unless you're trying to go for the ESG scores, and you've got, a alphabet team. Then you can try to get, projects that matter, or whatever the hell they call it.
Projects we love.
Based on that. Projects we love. Thank you. You can try to get that on there based on that, but it's all BS. Nobody ever actually looks at the projects we love to try to back it. It's they look at what they want, and 70 to 90% of your earnings are going to be from you. You're going to bring those in. So the pre-launch, like 2 to 4 weeks prior to pre-launch, the marketing and campaigning You got to think like you're trying to be elected for president or something.
I've been posting almost every day.
Yeah, you got 'em.
Well, so, and again, so when it comes to marketing, there's social marketing, there's viral marketing, there's, or what we call content marketing, and then there's old school marketing, email marketing, and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not all marketing is the same, and you kind of got to work through those things and have a plan for that. And if you hire a campaign marketing team, they can't just be active and have a following on Facebook. And they can't just post to a couple of groups and have that. That's not marketing. They should have a plan for gathering emails. They should have a plan for everything. So most of these people that say that they're marketers, quote unquote marketers, they don't market a damn thing. All they do is they just share your post. Guess what? All of your friends and family members and all of your artists can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Those are your marketers. And I'll tell you, you know what's going to suck? All these people are going to lose their job. They're not their job, their grift. All of them are going to lose their grift when I publish my book. Because you're going to look through that and you're like, oh crap, I don't need these guys to do this. I can do this on my own. And absolutely you can do it on your own, and you can save a heck of a lot of money because you deserve to keep a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's no problem. Because look, all this stuff here, this doesn't... Why on earth would you put the locked stretch goals before finished pages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are people backing? What are you selling? I'm selling this book that looks good.
Yeah.
Dude, you've put together a really nice project here.
Thank you.
I mean, the pages look good. These logos are awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
Jeff,
take
you have
that
to
whole
figure it out.
top section and move it down to the bottom.
down,
Yeah.
to the bottom.
That's what I would do.
Actually, probably do that
Copy
after
it,
this.
paste it all down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get those up here at the top. That would look so much better. I mean, let people see what you're making. Because Griffin, at 22 years old, you have put together 9 different stories with a massive creative team all behind this thing for your first release as a publisher. And you are doing better than people that I've seen that have been doing this for several years.
Thank you.
I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. I know that you kept a lot of this in your pocket too. Like
Yeah.
you kept a lot of it secret.
That's also something that's harder for youthful people today.
How did you keep
Yeah.
it secret?
Yeah.
Of course, my advice is always don't keep it secret. As soon as you start getting art, start clipping it and start posting every day or every couple of days. Hey, new art for this thing. Nightfall's coming. Hey guys, Nightfall's coming. Check this out. That would have been my advice from the get-go. Just start spreading your seed everywhere. I said that wrong. That sounded bad.
Yeah, you did. Whoa. Woo.
Strike that. Yeah, let's we'll edit that out, right, guys?
How dare you?
Ooh.
How dare you?
Oh.
Ooh.
We got a question. Who's the book for? What was this age group?
As you can see from the panel right above the one where his mouse is, that is probably the most graphic page that we have. So I'd just because of the blood there, just take out your own discretion. I'd say above anyone 13.
Okay.
I would let my 11-year-old see that.
Yeah.
I don't have
I
an
have younger
11-year-old,
kids. They've seen worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Then yeah,
it's up to the
we'll say
parents.
everyone.
It's up to the parents, but you gotta give them a heads up. Like, hey, there's nudity or there's gore or whatever.
Yeah,
like, the
there's
parents
no
decide.
nudity. As far as gore, that's the extent of it. There's no,
Phil
like,
wants
you know.
us to clip that.
I will say, as a parent, I watch for nudie stuff more than I watch for violence.
Yeah,
there's-
we're always
there's
more
no
concerned with
nudity.
that. Yeah, you were very insistent not to make Samantha too sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept trying to comic book her up. I was like, let's throw some curves in there, give her some bazongas. Let's, let's make. And he was Griffin, you were very adamant. Yeah, pull it back a little bit. She's Catholic, and I'm like, I know Catholic girls.
Yeah, the creator of that, the one you saw in the video, Tom, he's the one who created that character, and he has a very specific vision for her in mind.
Yeah, well, that's great. I always love grabbing people's vision.
I will say that's one conversation I hate having with people. They're like, I miss TNA. And it's like, you still can have them covered up and they'll look nice. So.
Yeah, well, all of my characters are covered up, but they have big titties and stuff. Well, it's just, not to embarrass my wife or anything, but that's my frame of reference, So, I mean, I
think that's a good way to embarrass your wife. So
it's a good way to embarrass my wife.
That's your grasp on reality. Sorry.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, I grew up with comics, so the men are strong, and the men are strong with massive muscles that don't exist in real life, and women are Wonder Woman type things. Yeah, I mean, it's just what I do. But I can tone that down, and I did. So Morningstar is what I worked on. So this is my offering to the thing, and I'm really proud of some of these pages. I think they turned out really well. So we did a lot of complicated backgrounds because there's a lot of scene setting in places, and then trying to keep Samantha attractive yet young and innocent. This was a fun face to draw.
I like that one.
That little that scrunched up nose that I tried to think what would my daughter think if she was getting ready to kick some demon ass.
It worked well.
Yeah. And then the dog just out there waiting patiently. Yeah,
Bird's eye is pretty cool.
I had a lot of fun with those pages. I enjoyed doing them. I'm happy to work on anything else that you might have for me. I did these logos. Most of these logos I did.
Yeah, they're great.
Mechanic, the Strider. What didn't have Cloud on there initially?
It did. Yeah, it still does for the website.
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't remember. This one was really fun because
that one took. I think we had to do a call about that one actually.
This one was hard because you're like, well, it needs to be smoky. We need an owl that's made of smoke, and I'm like, how am I going to do that on a logo that's going to work on like a title that's going to work on every kind of background? Because it's going to go on the cover.
Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was probably the hardest one that I did, but it was also.
I love the fact that it's in Italian. Peccato mortale. It's like, it's great.
The text was fun to make.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun to make. And then we had a lot of back and forth on this star because the person wanted the star in between the word, either in between ass or tra, in between ass and tra, or between ast and ra. And I'm like, it's because it's.
It should just be in the center.
Yeah,
the writer was very also adamant about that.
Yeah, we went back and forth a lot on that, and I was like, it's not going on, like, and at some point, as part of as a designer, somebody that works with clients all the time, I always want to give the client exactly what they want, unless exactly what they want is going to look bad.
Yeah, that's also something that I've learned throughout the few years I've done this is that the creators do have their own vision, but that doesn't always mean that it can't be improved upon or that is the best way to do it.
Right.
And I know some creators may get a little bit upset about that. I've had several arguments about it, but if you always think that your idea is always going to be the best one, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if a creator is not ready to hear his idea sucks, he shouldn't be collaborating with anyone.
Right, yeah.
That's going to come up at some point.
When you hire an artist, and you choose artists based on a few different things. Yeah. How good are they? Their layout, their design elements, their flavor, their feel. I mean, you can get a cookie cutter artist if you want to, but if you're hiring someone based on what they bring to the table, then you need to allow them the room to bring that to the table.
Yeah, 100%.
And, nobody wants to put their name on something that's going to look bad. Piper has this rule that she doesn't want to be credited on a book if you don't take her advice. So if she's editing and something in the book doesn't, because she doesn't want to be embarrassed. She doesn't want her name on something that, is bad,
That's an understandable situation, yeah.
And I'm the same way sometimes. I'm like, I'm going to put my all into these things.
Yeah, Alan Smithy. That's why you have that.
Yeah. So, this Chimera logo though was one of my favorites.
I like that one.
That was a lot of fun. That was real fun to do. So was this Malachi one. Like I was like at first, like we had a whole other design for this, and
Yeah, it was
"This
more
works
with
better."
the tribal tattoo, which we
Mhm.
just instead just laid it out and put the letter on top of it and removed all the background.
Yeah, which the tribal tattoo is still there. We just put it inside
Yeah.
the lettering. So, we did a lot of fun things like
Yeah.
that. But the back and forth was fun. I think in total I did 40 different things for you guys. And yeah, like 40 different logos and emblems. A lot of all those emblems that you saw in that second video, I did. So it was a lot of fun. It really was. It was neat to do. And I had to design one of the characters. I designed another young gal that has this skeleton moth on her back of her coat, and I was like, a skeleton moth, like a moth made of a moth skeleton. Like, okay, like that was fun. Like it challenged some of my creativity. And as Hojo says, oh yeah, he remembers that because we were back and forth a few times. I've got this private group called the Comic Catalyst. There's just maybe 5 or 6 of us in there. And, I'll ask for advice in there. I was like, what do you think? So I showed a couple of them there, and then I know there was some of that back and forth that you and I had, Griffin. And I was like, gosh, this would look so much better if it was just, I'm like, it's not good. Because when you see something, it's like, yeah, that's a great idea, but let's make that work. And I'm so glad that we went with the T with the star in the
Same
background.
here. Yeah.
Because it looks good. And I'm proud of all the work that I was able to do, but now that I see all of it coming together, I'm really proud of the whole project. I think that you've done a really good job on this.
Thank you.
And I think that you I did that logo too. That was fun.
Yeah, you did.
I did some weird things with that one. That was weird. It was fun. I did a couple things with the interior of the lettering. I like that you've got this. This is nice, where the expenses go. But again, that's something that could be down at the bottom once they're excited about the book. So we got a couple things here. We got the desktop wallpaper, which
it's just for if people just want like one of the add-ons without buying the book, they just have an option to.
That's a good idea. So you've got this. You've got the early bird. So $25, 92 pages. That's not bad. How much is the shipping on this?
Shipping is going to be covered by the backer.
Okay. I know, but how much is it?
It depends, I guess, where you live. Anywhere between $3 to $7, just depending on where you live.
Are you doing the shipping? Are you charging the shipping here, or are you doing that?
It's through the survey at the end. Through the backers are paying for the shipping.
Okay, but they're not paying for it up front. They're getting charged for it later.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's we have international workers and people who want to share it. Doing what part? The shipping?
Whose idea was it not to charge the shipping here through Kickstarter, because you can.
Well, then I guess that was just something I wasn't told.
Yeah, like when you're setting this up, you can set up the shipping cost.
Okay, then yeah, that was just something that
Kickstarter.
I guess another thing I guess I should have just been told or done more research about.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna. You know what? Sheesh. I get really upset when people get screwed like that. It's.
How dare you?
I mean, even if this project.
That is not a joke. That is a natural fact.
Oh no!
If this project isn't going to be funded, I'm still going to move forward with it. So it's something I'll learn for next time.
I think it's gonna get funded, but it's just I'm upset that no one told you this stuff. Charging shipping in the back end after someone's already paid, that turns off backers so much, man.
Yeah.
I have heard so many complaints about that, and we've had people on Fund My Comic try to do that. I'm like, absolutely not. We will not approve your campaign if you don't add shipping to each tier on what it is. So you can actually go in and charge the shipping.
Okay.
Like say if I were to back this book, I can actually go in and charge like where it ships anywhere in the world. When I could have it set up to where it actually when I put in my address, it charges that shipping.
Okay, well, that's something to know for next time.
Yeah, it definitely should have been done that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you've got Born, which is the wraparound, a physical copy, wraparound cover, $50. This is my work, guys. Go back this one.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
Got to get this. 3 backers have already gotten it, and you can get it too. Is there a limit on this one?
No.
No limit. So you guys can buy as many copies as you want of that, or you can just go all in with this thing and get this really cool one right here, where you get the T-shirt and the wraparound cover. That's really awesome. That does have the physical book, right?
Yes.
Yes, that one right there. That one is $65, and Griffin will love you for that.
I will, very much.
Or we can go all in. Wait for this one, guys. And you can get the Argat, which is Arg and a cat. Oh, wait, there's even more. Oh, I didn't see
get
these.
all three covers and all of the merch. And then there's the retailer.
Oh.
Okay, so you don't want the retailer bundle because you're not a retailer. But if you are a
Unless
retailer,
you're a
you want that.
retailer,
But for $160, you can get all the covers, 2 of which I was able to contribute to. You get that T-shirt, which is awesome. You get 3 hats.
Those are the color options.
Oh, so you get to choose
I'm
one.
actually
I'm like,
wearing
you
the
get
hat
3
right
hats?
now.
Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy sauce. You did a good job putting this book together.
Thank you.
You really did. And the rewards are nice too. I call them rewards because it's what we call them over on Fund My Comic. And then you get a sticker. Is that a sticker?
It's an enamel pin.
Ooh, an enamel pin. So you can wear your pen of pride. The good pride, not the kind that... Dang, you just got Biden.
Yeah.
Only 6 here. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Who got possessed?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, that would be a truck. I live on the road to a mine.
Yeah. So this is a cool project. Thank you, whoever backed it already. Let's see if we can get another backer on this one.
Yeah.
29 so far. We want to flip Griffin the bird. Right? $2,100 has been raised. 22 days to go. $4,000 is the goal. Right? $4,000 is the goal. I would love to see you run a second chance on Fund My Comic at some point on that one.
That's definitely something we can talk about. I'll be all for that.
Yeah, let's get you a really fun second chance campaign going over there. That'd be great. Then we've got here also today we've got C.S. Johnson in the house, or CJ as we call her.
Yes.
Look
so
at
many
this
people
thing.
call me CS, and it's like you sound like you're like a snake that's hissing my name. You know.
Yes.
So I'm
Lots
trying
of
to kind of get it down. So just CJ, thank you.
Whoa. Whoa, that'll get you canceled.
Yeah, but I mean, it's accurate though.
Man, everyone's gay once in a while.
It's a dangerous kind of pride.
The facts are racist, these days. So.
Did you say racist?
Racist,
The Ku Klux Klan! Oh no!
All right, so you launched on Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter did not fund.
That's it's a learning experience. So
See, exactly. It's the same for me too.
Yeah, it was. We were pulling so hard for you to try to get funded.
I appreciate everything you guys did too. You guys did a really just you helped me so much. I can't even tell you because it'd be borderline TMI.
I love this campaign. I love this story. I love the whole concept. Let's watch your trailer.
Awesome.
Yep.
Introducing Discord, Atlanta's newest superhero, from award-winning author C.S. Johnson. With musical powers that enable him to hear the unique song of each individual's soul, Discord has spent the last decade honing his skills and training to take down his father's killer. But Discord isn't just fighting for justice. He's also using his powers to go after human traffickers and put an end to their heinous crimes. Get this 30-page full-color comic today.
30 pages.
That's pretty cool.
Full color.
Full color. And not signed trailer. You heard that, Jimmy? Sorry.
Who did the trailer for you?
Pedro.
Yeah, I did it. But
Nice.
it's not signed. Yeah. I don't know. I have this thing with Jimmy Reyes because when he makes trailers, that he signs them. That
He signs the trailer.
edited by Jimmy Reyes. Like, stop doing that, dude.
Look, he understands marketing, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
You know, he's trying to brand
him.
himself.
Yeah.
Jimmy is funny, but yeah, that's funny. He's
No,
like,
I've already said if I ever make like $1 billion or whatever, everybody I've ever met or known is gonna get a good piece of it. So
yeah.
So what's funny is Jimmy Reyes kind of reminds me. Do you guys watch Parks and Rec?
Yep.
I used to.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of Tom Haverford. Remember when he has that, Entertainment 720 or something like that, or whatever the name is. He is doing the thing for Leslie, but he's got his face on everything. Promoting his company. He's doing, I love it. And it reminds me, every time I see that Jimmy Reyes signature on his trailers, it reminds me of Tom. How he would.
And then this is all done with love. Now I don't want people to think that I hate Jimmy. Right?
No.
Funny, man.
Again, this is just old friends hanging out here.
Yeah.
If we're not teasing you, we don't like you.
Yeah, exactly.
That even goes for all the people we don't like. I'm joking. I'm teasing.
No. I'm teasing.
I have only hate and caffeine, and I'm all out of caffeine.
Get some more, man.
I love lamp. I love carpet. I love internet. My Luke promoting a Kickstarter project. This is what I love about this guy. He's all about books. I am about books. And I do want these creators to come on my platform because I want to give them more of their own money. I want to help them promote and have a better campaign. See, so if they would have built a Fund My Comic, I would have given, or one of my admins that are amazing, would have given feedback to say, no, you need to do these things, make this look better, whatever. This will present better for selling the book and things like that. Because we want you to be successful. Comics is only about 5% of the green site's income of what they do. Only about 5%. So they don't really care. Even the comic book czar over there doesn't really care too much unless it's something political that he disagrees with, and then he'll ban it, right? So they don't really care if you fund or not, because they're in it for the tech stuff and all that. That's where their money comes from. We love comic books. It is all about the love of comics. It is all about the love of creators and giving them the tools they need to connect with their fans. That's my whole life. And so it is so important for us that you fund. Not for the money, but so that you can feel the joy of that success. Yep. There's nothing better than funding your comic, getting it printed, and having that book in your hand that you can smell and hold and feel. Look at Randy. Randy, and that feeling never gets old. It becomes a drug to you that you just want to pursue over and over and over again. And as many books as I've had my hands in productioning. That's productioning. I'm not a smart man.
All coming in the book, The Joys of Funding.
We live in the era of Biden, so new words are popping up all the time that I'm just learning.
Shabba Hamana Funding.
Hamalama.
Oh my gosh, I love this show. I have so much fun here. But we really, really, really want everyone that has a desire and a love for comic books and to make them to have that experience. I mean, it just gets in your blood. And so I was so
just from using Fund My Comic, I really like it. And I do appreciate the feedback. My kids are at that age where they're learning to read, and I'm running into issues with graphic novels. This is a personal problem because they like the Babysitters Club and they like the Minecraft and stuff like that, But some of the stuff I just don't know if it's gonna, go woke, And
so I like how you said, like here, it's like, what am I selling? A 30-page full color superhero comic book. Love that. Yes. You hit me right away with some great panels. This looks beautiful. That cityscape. My gosh.
Atlanta's a really nice city when you're not too close to it.
Yeah, from a distance, right? It's beautiful.
Yeah, from a distance it looks
And when you're not driving right through it, it's amazing.
When you're not driving through it at 11 o'clock at night, it's great.
So here's what's great. When you put your creative team at the bottom and you hit me right away with this right here, I'm like, who is your artist? Because I like this. So I skim past all of this great art so that I can go find who the artist is. And then I have to read all this stuff and look, I'm like, okay, well, I'll go back up to that. Stretch goals, that's great. About me.
Yeah, I'm not really that interesting.
Yeah.
I imagine if I could pull everything out of my brain, I'd be the most interesting person on the planet. But I prefer to keep it to myself.
I hate human trafficking. Me too. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I wrote the story. Okay, I get that.
I gotta say, I'm glad Sound of Freedom took off so well. But I was like, oh, did they read my mind?
That was a heavy movie.
Well,
I haven't seen it yet.
It's good.
You know what? It's not in theaters down here yet.
So who is your artist on this one?
And I live right next to Columbia, so.
I contracted out. I looked around the interwebs and I found Light Comic Studio. They do a lot of manga as well as comics. So I had to pay more for the comic price.
Of course, yeah.
But they do really nice. I loved manga as a kid. I had more manga than comic books. So I was like, okay, these people know where I'm coming from and they know where I want to go. So
great. I like the Dutch angle on this one. That's nice.
Hey, yeah. Luke, I had a question for you about the scroll up a bit. The music there, is that legible? I only read tabs.
Well, yeah, that's an AAF. AAF. AAF.
D.
D.
DAAFD.
So there's something there. Okay.
Sounds like Miles on
play it
purpose.
if you wanted.
Yeah, if you
sounds like 1,000 Miles. Isn't it like ding 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 ding
dun 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 dun. It's We Will Rock You.
Yeah. And I need you.
I will say, like, when I was doing the music, because I read music, but I can't play it very well. I wanted to highlight the colors of it more because in the dark you can kind of see it's gray and like darker, and then it gets more gold as you go on. And that's like, I'm trying to write a light novel adaptation of it too. I'm a novelist first, so it's like I work better with novelists. This is the first time I've worked from scripts, and I think I did okay. But if you read the light novel,
the art integrates the music so well on this project. Like, I mean, guys, I've already seen it. Sorry. But
no, it's okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the art is so well integrated into the art and the story and the music. I mean, and dude, it just flows, man. Like, it really helped me when I was making the trailer. Is I understood the story right away without reading a word. So
good.
This is a really well done project, man. But
yeah,
there you go. You got
so you've been up for 2 days.
Is there a digital version that you have posted there, or no? Just straight to
right here.
Oh, okay. So I have the ebook. I'm like I said, I'm working on a light novel. I'm more of an anime manga person, but I've noticed a lot of light novels, like adaptations, creeping to the comic section in a Second and Charles down the street here. So I was like, I'll write a novel version for my usual fans because, like I said, I'm a novelist. And
of course, because you call the digital an ebook.
Ebook, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Comic book people don't do that. That's strict. That is a novelist. You can tell she's been to school because we're like, yeah, it's a PDF. We give you what file type it is. We're like, well, I don't know if PDF. I don't know. It's digital. It's not real.
I can make an EPUB if people need it for what it's worth. So,
let's hope somebody picks up something like that. Digital version goes direct to the creators, so maybe if somebody's feeling maybe we can get the bird flip today again.
Oh, yeah.
We should definitely flip the bird, guys. Let us know if you're flipping CJ the bird.
Oh
yes, the good kind.
Wrong.
The good kind. Raised in 2 days. You got 27 days to go. $3,500 is your goal on this one. This deserves some love. Someone has tipped you.
Yay.
And
I have some really lovely loyal backers. Like I said, this is my first comic, and I do things. I write things usually on a dare, which is terrible to do, by the way.
Yeah.
But even my avatar is my Fat Girl series, and that was kind of a dare.
Fat Girl.
Can you write something that's absolutely repulsive and still funny? Yes,
I mean,
I can.
repulsive and funny go hand in hand, man. That's like peanut butter and jelly to me.
Well, it was for the appalling stories. Like I started that with my friend Paul Hare and Dave Dubrow, and they're known for like what's called right wing satire. But right wing satire ends up being conspiracy theories and prophecies. So I was like, yes, I can write something for you that's actually satire.
Yeah.
So that's how Fat Girl was born.
Whoa.
That one's already sold out.
Hold on, there you go.
I don't remember making that one able to like be sold out, so I might have to go back and fix that.
Yeah, you might have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is cool. So $25, you get the novel adaptation in softcover form.
Nice.
So you get the novel of this.
I will say the novel is kind of fun in its own way, because when you write a novel, you can kind of go into some of the details and you can explore more of the foreshadowing. It's kind of hard to do that in some areas.
Yeah, my only thing that I was worried about with you with this one is the price point for the physical for a 30-page comic. It's just a little high for a 30-page comic. They're used to paying about 15 to get those.
I will sign it, and I will send the ebook as well. So
yeah, there you go.
So hopefully it'll make up for and I will say, like, I am getting sketches. I have the sketches for issue number 2, and it looks really good.
Yeah, but
I'm more excited for issue number 2 than issue number 1.
Yeah, hopefully the backers realize that, you know, what they're doing is they're helping you make this comic. You know, that is this money is going to get this thing printed up and everything. And so usually with crowdfunding, people don't look at it as much as a storefront as they do other things. Now we do have a storefront mode now. It used to be called Continuous. We changed the name to storefront so people could understand that this is where you put your stuff up to sell forever if you want.
I would love that, because that would take care of a lot of things for me.
Yeah. So so we have storefront availability now. So that's neat. So we've got Kelsey is now almost to 20,000.
Wow.
He's over $19,000 that he's raised.
Go Shannon.
AR-13 is at over $1,800 that is raised. We've got.
Are we on the race for 20K?
We're on the race for 20K.
Awesome.
Yes. Dude. So these are 3
Bronze
campaigns.
Star is also 18.
Yes. These are not aggregated totals. These are just totals that have been raised on Fund My Comic. So Bronze Star is over $1,800. We have 3 campaigns over 18K.
Very cool.
I was saying earlier, I really like your setup. I'm trying to get some graphic novels, of my other work adapted. When people ask me what the difference is like it's a novel first, and then you put the graphics in, and you can have longer passages and stuff, and it's not as cluttery. But my kids really like I said, graphic novels right now, and I'm trying to get more that are like kid appropriate but still good stuff, you know. So that's my next project that I've got to work on. Like I said, issue number 2 is coming in. Issue number 3 is outlined, you know, so for the Discord. So
we've got some really fun campaigns on here. I mean, looking at all this stuff. I
will be using Fund My Comic for my stuff going forward, definitely though. So get on here, Griffin.
I'm really thinking about it now.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember when Luke was talking about it back in like January, because I was originally supposed to start doing crowdfunding in, I think it was May, when you were taking, it was like a lottery sort of thing where you do like applications to get on it.
Yeah, we started out with a bit of a lottery, and then we just wound up, you know, we had some issues with that developer. So what was funny was we started with one developer, and then we had another one come along, a mistress, if you will, and enticed us away and gave us promises of
milk and honey,
all kinds of things, and pretty much got us in the hotel room. And when we woke up the next morning,
you were missing a kidney.
We were missing a kidney. And so I had to go back kidneyless to our old betrothed. And I had to say, I'm really sorry. Can we pick up where we left off? And they said, well, yes, we can. And they were so gracious with us. And
that's really nice.
Yeah, so we picked back up where we left off, and we're able to get able to get things going the way that we have. So we got a lot of really cool things going on here.
Sorry, but and now the relationship is stronger than ever.
Yes. Oh my God, they stole my kidney.
I mean, minus a kidney, but hey.
I mean, honestly, it was. I mean, it started out about money, I think.
Yes. I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
I want to say, I sympathize with Griffin in the marketing thing, because when I was doing my first round of Kickstarter for this, I'm not a great marketer. I come in here and I pour on the charm for you guys, but I'm actually like a really crippled introvert. And
no way.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was talking with John from the Long Box last night. I understand most creators they don't have the outgoing personality, but I'm an introvert. But I mean, I've done public speaking my whole life. I mean, from my teenage years, and I've done it somewhat I've done it professionally as a public speaker every week on Sunday mornings, right? And teacher. And so I'm like, well, I may not be Stan Lee, but I can be like Stan Lee as far as an advocate for comic books goes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Better get used to it too. So.
Yeah. And so if I can get out and help speak for people a little bit, or at least encourage them enough, to take the edge off so they can start talking, that's what I'm going to do. So.
Yeah, I will say I think it's easier to champion other people too. So,
always.
Yes.
125 backers right now on Anvil magazine.
Oh,
Anvil's really cool. I've got a page that I'm finishing today that's going to wind up making it into Anvil 2. There's 2 pages that I've done, and I'm going to say 3 things about the story. I'm going to say nothing else about the story. 3 things. And these are plot or story elements. We're going to already talk about plot and story here in a little more in depth here for just about 4 or 5 minutes. So, Vikings, orcs, flying airships.
That's all you need.
Cool. Sounds delicious.
Those were 3 things that when they sent me the pitch for a couple of stories, which one would you like to draw? And I go, Vikings, orcs, flying airship. Those were the 3 words that stood out to me. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. William is so kind. He says, well, greater than Stanley. Speak up for the indie devs. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Stanley was an advocate for Stanley.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, led astray, bamboozled, deceived, run amok, hoodwinked.
Oh yeah.
We are going to be taking now that FMC's on the road. I'm talking to my lawyer. We're gonna be taking them to court and
nice.
Making sure that they settle up with things. So I might be acquiring a new company. I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see. Yeah, just guilt us into it, Luke. Use the St. Jude method of marketing. A year ago, I got sick and lost the weight of another person. Then I created FMC. Back or you hate sick people.
Oh my God.
Back or you hate sick people. Yeah, let's see if that works.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
Yeah, let's do all those things. This is a cool project. You should check this one out. I like this one a lot. This is neat. This is stuff that we need. We need these variety books that have previews of stories, that have interviews and write-ups. This is like a Wizard magazine.
Yep.
For us. This still has 15 days to go. You guys got to check that one out.
I was actually showing my kids. I'm from the '90s, so they used to have the What a Cartoon Show.
Yeah.
Where they had the internet and social media.
Yes.
And that's how they used to pick the shows that they would develop, like on Cartoon Network. And I forgot all about this until like my kids are like watching, like trying to find new TV shows to watch. New TV shows to watch.
Yeah, new old TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So for my son, we found SWAT Cats pretty quickly.
Nice. Oh, dude.
That's a good show.
I loved that show.
So,
but my daughter wanted something a little bit more girly, and so I turned on the What a Cartoon Show of the Powerpuff Girls, where Bubbles gets her hair turned into meat. And I remember I was like, oh, I forgot that they used to do this. They used to do they'd have like little sample episodes of things and see what people wanted and liked and got feedback.
Speaking of old shows, I treated myself yesterday to a marathon of Shazam by Hanna-Barbera. I don't know if you remember that show.
I like a lot of Hanna-Barbera songs.
Yeah, Shazam. Two kids from Maine find a ring and then we put it together. They go back to a non-scary Middle East and they have adventures with a
non-scary Shazam. Yeah.
Shazam with an N.
Shazam.
Yeah.
They were going to do Shazam, but it was too close to Billy Batson.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
and they have a flying camel called Kabubi.
Kabubi.
It's awesome. It's an awesome show, dude.
All right,
towards the end of their superhero run, a lot of that stuff was created by Alex Toth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's full Alex Toth.
Just phenomenal work.
Let's just go back real quick. I want to check. Let's see if we've gotten any backers.
Yeah.
Has anybody flipped the birds?
Oh,
yet?
sorry.
Let's see.
Green site. No more backers yet. We got to get there. I want this project to fund.
Yeah.
I like this a lot, and I'm sorry that you spent money on promotion here.
I was gonna say, so like with AI and promotion, I've gotten so many emails that I'm pretty sure are from AI, like ChatGPT.
Oh,
I got those too.
Well, like it's weird because like I used to get the generic ones that they would send out, like the cold calling emails, and now they're like personally tailored to me, and it's disturbing because it's like, hey, we read your book. This is what it's about.
Yeah,
I really liked this part of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to just ask, did you actually read this, or was this like a computer that read it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Now you can use all these AI tools for marketing pretty easy. I mean, or at least maybe I should do a video on how to harness AI to do your marketing for you. Because there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. It can help. There are ways that it can help.
I mean, on AI Wranglers.
Yeah, logline. Yeah, things like that. I mean, there are ways to use it to your advantage. I mean, at least use it to your advantage now before it tries to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Exploit it all that you can.
Yes,
I think that's important.
Give yourself the opportunity to earn your ultimate death. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You are
no
a
sense in
flashback
dying without
redundancy.
using it.
Guys, back some of these books, man. I want to see the bird dance again. What I noticed about both of your campaigns, and this is what I was excited about this morning, is that we've got CJ, who has been writing for a long time, and then we've got Griffin, who doesn't call himself a writer but an editor, who has to try to keep everyone's. It's like herding kittens, isn't it, Griffin?
Yeah, definitely.
But you've been able to do this, and I still see that there is a lot of things about plot and story that we could talk about. Plot being the events that happen, story being the tendons that weave it all together. But there's kind of three main things. If I were to just only pick three, and I mean, you'll see videos like the 6 things you have to have, or the 10 things you have. You can have any number of things you have to have, but if there were 3 that I were going to settle on, it would be character development, which both of you are doing that in your books. Like that seems to be comic books, especially as a medium about characters, as characterization, is really what it's about. We talked about these IPs from Marvel and DC, where it's all about the character. People know the character. It is the key thing, it's why people love Batman. It's why people love Spider-Man. They fell in love with the characters. So characterization is your first element for story and or plot. You know, you have to think about characterization in both of those things. And then there's a pacing or tension with what you're doing. You've got, which would be my second thing that I would think that you really need to focus on. Pacing and tension. I see that in both of yours. The tension and the pace, whether it's slow or fast, one is about this event that takes out all the stars, and the other is about revenge that goes beyond revenge. It's that, you know, that tension. It's the thing that kind of creates, you know, the death of a father would be the tension. You know, that kind of creates where the plot and where the story goes. And then you both have theme and messaging. Messaging more so in Discord, with this whole idea of the human trafficking. CJ, you really nailed that. Like, you really, every time I've talked with you, clearly you understand the theme and the message well. And that seems to be a really driving force as you've developed or are developing the character. And Griffin, it's going to be a little harder for you because you've got all of these writers who might have a different theme or a different message that they really want to portray through their storytelling. So it's a challenge. It's fun stuff, but I see that from the scripts that I've read and from all the work that I've done with all these kind of blurbs about each one of these stories, having done the logos, you know, there's definitely each of these themes and these things that kind of move in, and they all, I think my most favorite part about comics has to come from Claremont's X-Men back in the 80s and 90s particularly, is that there's this external force that's affecting these characters, and these characters respond in different ways to that external force. And as they're responding to that external force, they're also responding to one another. And each other's response to that external force causes them to interact differently with each other. And those interactions may impact interactions they have with other characters. Claremont had this ability to write a team book really well, where most people fail, because he was able to make every character the main character. He spent enough time in what he was doing around the plot elements to actually develop the character and theme, and he paced his book around those things, Completely lost on some of today's writers that are in the mainstream. Non-existent. Because they don't know how to disagree or allow characters to disagree, because they themselves can't disagree with people. We joked about it earlier in the chat. We've talked about it here on the panel, that just because we disagree doesn't mean we can't be friends. Doesn't mean we can't still interact with each other or even work towards the same goal.
What's the Mythbusters dudes? They had they worked together for years and they hated each other, right? And completely successful.
Yeah, they weren't exactly friends.
There's a difference between getting along with people and being friends with people. Yeah. Like, friendship has that added value of trust, and when I get along with people, I don't have to worry about how much I trust you as much as I'm like how well we can like kind of like bounce off of each other in an amicable sort of way. So when it comes to trust, though, I mean, that's the harder part, and I think that's where it's like, yes, I will draw the line. I will draw the line somewhere when it comes to trust. Like, how much do I trust you? And for what it's worth, I don't like math, but I use confidence bands.
Yeah.
So,
speaking about trust.
Yeah.
Yep. Fund My Comic.
FMC,
yeah,
baby.
guys, get over there and help Fund My Comic. Get over there and help Griffin over on the green site. He needs your support. Let's get these books done. You can see a lot of work from your boy here, Luke, that I've worked on that over there. I've really enjoyed working with Griffin and Nightfall Comics. Knife.
Yeah, your stuff looks
I
really
still
nice.
get it switched up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Griffin, I want to congratulate you, man, because you're a young dude, and you put a song in my head. And I'm not saying that the lyrics apply to you, but it's a very hopeful song to me. I'm singing Kansas in my head right now. Carry on, wayward son. Just go on.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. No, there won't.
Well,
Because you're
you know,
never
we
going
have
to be
so many-
done. You're always going to make more comics.
Exactly.
We have so many youthful idiots running around that it's hard to remember that there are some people that are actually talented and deserve your admiration, even if they are young and inexperienced with certain things. So, you know,
Griffin,
we're
you're inspiring
honored.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
You're inspiring
I mean,
people.
Being wise is being able to listen.
Yes.
And that's something that people are just goes way over their head. Like, I have something to say. Like, no, you don't. Because you don't listen and what you're saying is stupid.
Griffin listens a lot. Like, he's listened, like, you know, even early on when he had questions and we, you know, had conversations. He listened to those things. I'm just so angry that you got lied to on this thing. I mean, I look at that and I think, man, someone knew they were taking advantage of you.
Yeah. It happens.
That gets in my crawl and it burns my toast. It burns the bacon, and I do not like that.
There are lessons.
But I believe Griffin is going to be around for a while. I believe we're going to see a lot of great things from him, guys. Follow him on social
Well,
media.
you got like
Find him
9
out there.
superheroes in the work. That sounds pretty promising.
Yeah, thank you.
At least one of these things is going to take off, right?
Yeah, probably. the old macaroni on the wall.
Yeah. Well,
Something's gonna stick.
Clap it up there, see if it works. No, honestly, I think
dude, it looks great.
I like the idea of the character that I was doing. I like the idea of a lot of the other characters too. Really good stuff.
Hasn't spoken because everyone else never shuts up long enough. Runs for cover.
I am properly submissive. Okay.
We're singing his praises, man. We're encouraging.
Yeah, we are, dude. What are you trying to do, Glenn? What are you trying to do?
He's just laughing.
Yeah.
See, I like listening to older people than me because I think everybody needs a mentor. You need somebody that you can physically like identify with in the sense that like, sorry, there's an airplane going over my head now. But you need somebody that you can look to and be like, that's the kind of person I want to be like with regards to this. You know?
They also have a lot of advice because they've done the things you're trying to do. So they're going to tell you all the mistakes they made so you don't make the same mistakes.
Bingo.
I mean, even if the old chap is dumb, because then you'll hear it's like, wait, that's dumb. So you need to hear everything.
Sometimes you need to hear an idiot speak so you know what intelligence sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. I constantly forget how good of a writer I am. I know that sounds weird, but like my sister she'll be like, I need to write an email to my boss. Can you write it for me? And I'm like, okay.
That is not a joke. That is a natural fact.
So she cleans it up a little when I'm done, but at least it's done, you know.
Yeah, I love it, Glenn. I love that. I love the fun ribbing that we have with our community here.
Well, you need people that you can joke with like inappropriately.
Yeah.
That's how you show you trust each other.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun here.
Glenn
It has
is
been
one of my favorite people. He's such a curmudgeon.
Before we
bastard.
leave, over at Fund My Comic, Out of Obscurity is so close to meeting that goal.
So close. Oh, I forgot about Out of Obscurity.
So close to meeting that goal. If it hits that goal, I'm putting another story in.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me show that real quick.
Speaking
I
of
almost forgot about.
It's a
I almost
story
forgot
that's
about
been gnawing at me for a few years to be done. I want to do it. I'm probably going to end up doing it anyway. I just don't know where I'd put it other than here.
Oh,
It's got the
so
Golden
close,
Age
dude.
Daredevil. It's got Silver Streak in it.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be great. It fits the theme of the book.
$10 digital. It's going to be 90-ish pages. $25 physical. Use code SHIP2 if you want to buy multiple copies. You'll save $4 on each shipping. You can buy t-shirts with this. There are 7 stories. There will be 8 once we hit that goal.
And some monkey drawings.
And some monkey drawings.
Yeah.
Some fun introductions from
Yep.
and then we're gonna be adding a bunch of stuff into this thing.
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna like it. We've got some great creators, some very talented people that are obscure now, but they won't be.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be obscure forever.
That's why it's called Out of Obscurity.
Yeah. Aaron C., this book looks great. RJ,
Dude.
Justin's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Another Arrow guy. We got Cooper. Hojo got a story in here. The guy that I'm really interested in seeing where his career goes is Jared Brickey.
Hmm.
When he sent me this script, I belly laughed reading this script. And I was like, wow, this is so
Impressive.
from someone that's never published a book. And he sends this story and I'm laughing at this. Like he tells this full-fledged story in a few pages. That was part of the challenge. And it was so good. I didn't have any feedback really, so I was like, well, this might be better. The joke might land better if you do this. I said it landed pretty good, but it would be a little bit funnier if we did this. And I mean, it was just, I was like, wow, this guy's really got some good writing chops. Like he understands, he hit the plot points, but then he also weaved in the story to make a really solid basket that held all my laughter.
Yeah.
I think this guy's going to be, he's going to be well known at some point, at least in my little circle. He's got to be.
One to watch.
He's one to watch. Really is.
Yep.
I like the premise of the story.
Yeah.
Can see that happening with some of my family members.
Mm-hmm. So this is an all or nothing campaign. 31 backers. We still need your help on that as well.
And it's so close, man.
Books to back, guys. Plenty of books.
Speaking of coming out of obscurity, I just put it in the chat. The mailing list for Waifus and Kaijus is out, guys. So sign up.
Sign up for that. We
and
can't wait to get
ready
that.
To
can't wait to get that book out.
Yeah.
Waifus and kaijus. Wow.
Yeah, you get ready to see mechs, robots, and hot chicks.
How can you
miss with that?
Monsters, mechs, and hot mamas.
And hot mamas.
Mamacitas.
Mamacitas. Senoritas. International senoritas at that.
International.
Because we're inclusive like that.
We have a pretty
Definitely
international
sounds dangerous.
panel here as well. Thank you, panel, for being here today. As always, it is so much fun hanging out with you guys. I want to thank Griffin. Thank you so much for being here so we can promote your work. I'm glad we were able to flip you the bird. I would love to be able to flip you the bird one more time before we go. And so if one of you guys want to sit over there and back that, we maybe even be able to go out with a little birdie dance. Thank you.
I have something that somebody mentioned merch earlier that you could for your stuff. I do models. I do busts. I do action figures.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do.
Whiskey's talked about that on our other stream before. It's really cool.
Yep, a lot of cool stuff. Oh, yep, and definitely gotta check out Hojo. Self-promote, guys.
Always promoting.
ABP, always be promoting.
Should mention the Fool campaign still up over at Fund My Comic.
It is,
as well.
yeah. The Fool is still up over there. It is
Rodeo Clown of Justice. Go take a
Rodeo
look.
Clown of Justice. I
The Fool.
Yeah, and we're shipping that out now. So great stuff, guys.
Done. It looks great.
Yep.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, so thanks CJ for being here. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you
Let's
for
get
having
you
me.
funded
I'm sorry
this go around. The
dude.
book is good. It needs to be put out. It really does.
And please, guys, spread the word for Out of Obscurity. It's so close.
So close.
Dude, the stories look good. So
I think it's $121, and we'll be there at the goal. So
Yep,
get it.
so close.
So close. Give me more
Hatch
work
is coming
to
to FMC.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we didn't even get to talk about it today, but Bloodwing is coming to FMC. Today's been such a good conversation
coming.
that we've really flowed a lot that we could probably do a 4-hour show today, but we're not going to because we have plenty of work to do, and my bladder
I got
is ready
children,
to.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
I had to break earlier just for that reason. Yeah.
My eyeballs are floating, fellas.
I have a bottle next to me.
Thanks for being there. Yeah.
Rather have a bottle next to me. than in
Pedro's
front
been
of the
relieving
bottom.
himself the whole time.
Like 3 times already.
Have a bottle in front of me.
Oh.
How dare you?
It's a gallon bottle. So
It's a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole gallon.
Make sure you recycle it when you're done, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go into the patio. Like the
Well,
food,
I have the perfect thing for this.
Sure.
Fund my comic.
Fund my comic.
There you go.
Gold standard.
Have a bottle next to you. Fund my
We
comic.
love pig. This is
the gold standard, like
the gold.
okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it.
the gold standard, as in like
Gotcha. Yeah.
like pee, like gold,
I don't
golden showers and stuff.
I don't know. If it's that gold, you need to have some more water, sir.
All right, talking a lot about pee.
Yeah,
Folks, remember to buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours. And as Russ likes to say, hating ain't creating.
Yes, sir.
Hating,
so go out there and create.
Creating.
Ain't creating.
Build up more than you tear down. It's so easy to tear down. It takes a real hero to build up.
That's right.
Go out there and build up. Leave that wood pile higher than you found it by all means, my friends and family. Please be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. Two Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459, 2 AEWs a GTA, several miscellaneous crimes. Homicide.